That you've
I don't
always
pay
had
attention.
access to a club membership, either Sam's or Costco.
No, I
Not knowing
never
that.
have.
Same.
Really?
I
just
never
started
have.
this
I
in
always
December.
jack one of my friends.
Access.
Yeah.
Got
Right.
access.
Okay, yeah. Then I have had. Yes, I have. I'm Costco privileged
You are Costco privileged.
because
or
I
Sam's
used to-
privileged.
or Sam. Sam's I probably haven't been in. Which one can you buy the coffin in?
Ooh.
Sam's.
Whoa, what?
I think it's Sam's
Is it
Club.
Sam's? Yeah, you can
Club,
buy.
You can buy coffins?
All right,
Online,
Heck
yeah.
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 Same with Amazon.
Oh my god, get
You can buy a coffin on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
You can.
Where do you buy the Kiss coffins at? That's what I want to know. You got to get those
Kiss.com.
straight from Gene Simmons?
Probably.
All the money goes straight into his pocket?
I guarantee you gets a fat cut, and those things aren't cheap anyway. I just did my sister's funeral, and good gosh, what a racketeer!
Yeah, we talked about that and how
No, you weren't lying.
we
They're-
found
It's
out
insane.
we can be sent to space.
I can get
Which
a
I'm going to do.
rattan
Did you hear the new thing though?
casket for $1,000.
They're about. Here comes something else. Yeah, we've been knowing this, Matt. They're about to start taking reservations for space cruises to go to lower orbit. You go up and hang out on kind of like a cruise for a couple of weeks now. I think it's supposed to start in 2025. They said they're gonna get that bad boy rolling.
Is it still with? I don't know what
I'm
they
in.
are now. Virgin Airlines.
Was he the one that was? I know Virgin Airlines was talking about making the commercial space travel, but this is like
Yeah.
a cruise line where you just stay up there for a while.
Yeah, they're gonna
And
have like
I'm
a movie
in.
theater. Yeah.
I'd do it.
Who's
Have-
gonna watch a movie in space? That's beyond me. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd be in for
Well,
sure.
it's
I
those
wonder if
same
they'd let you
people that
take
watch
edibles.
movies on vacation. They go
That's
to the
true.
movie theater while they're on vacation. Who
Yeah.
are these people?
Well, if it's raining,
What?
I've done that down at the beach. If it's raining and stuff,
That's true. I've done that at the
Okay.
beach too.
If it's bad storms or whatever, but if out of nowhere you go to a movie theater on your vacation,
I don't know what if
That
it's
isn't-
Almost every time.
What if
that
Mortal
isn't-
Kombat comes out? You're
if
gonna
it's
miss the
not
premiere.
in a badass movie theater that has some historical
Mhm.
value to it, then you did not plan your vacation
Well,
correctly.
what if Star Wars? Comes
I don't
out?
plan anything. I just do.
What if Star Wars comes out?
I
Why
go
you
on
there?
vacation.
Yeah.
No.
Huh?
If I don't go within the first 2
You're
weeks,
in-
I won't ever watch the movie.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So if
There's
it's
0%
out and I'm on
chance I could-
vacation, I go.
Right. I've never done it because
Hmm.
you're a bigger man than me. I've never been like, kids, let's pull over and watch
I also
the-"
go by myself.
Yeah, I can't
on
imagine
vacation.
the wifey likes that when you're like,
To
hey,
the
I want
movie
to go
theater.
see Rambo 7.
At
While
least
we're
you're
in-
not at a music festival, sitting in your tent watching.
Oh, I've done
movies.
that. I watched a football game at ACL Fest.
Yeah, Pearl Jam. I'm not really into you. I
That
got to
makes
watch
sense.
the
Yeah,
Cowboys lose.
okay, it was during
But
the
they have everything set up there so you can watch the game. It's not like
right.
you're sitting in the middle
$300 for
of
Pearl
the
Jam.
mountains
Yeah,
in a tent.
and it wasn't during Pearl
watching
Jam.
Netflix.
It was during Fantagram,
That
sir.
was a really great
Oh,
ACL
yeah.
year.
That's my
Yeah, that was-
girlfriend.
Yeah, it is your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I
shot
watched
down
the
my
Seattle
girlfriend.
Seahawks and
Mm.
the Dallas Cowboys. In the beer
You chose
tent with a bunch of douches. It
the
was so
Cowboys
sweaty,
getting beat over
so
Fanagram.
sweaty and testosterone-y.
She doesn't know she's my girlfriend, but she will.
Oh, she will, huh?
Maybe she does know, just not in this.
Maybe
Maybe
in spirit
that's
she
what that
knows.
restraining order's about.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe that too.
All
But,
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in space though. I'd probably do a bunch of other stuff in space. I wonder if they're gonna let you drink. I mean, it's a cruise. Surely they're gonna let you drink.
Ooh, up
Right?
in space? I don't know.
Imagine
like
you could probably
space
eat
laws?
shots. You could just be like, oh,
That's true. That's true.
I wonder if you get like nauseous feeling quicker because that stuff's floating around your stomach, probably, right?
These are
These
things
are weird
NASA
questions.
needs to release. Yeah.
They need to
Has-
think about this stuff.
has
Has
anyone
their think
got
tank thought about this?
Drunk in space.
Surely some Russian.
I really
Yeah.
feel like
Oh,
somebody
Russians for
has.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
surely some Russians
they
been up
always
put a
drunk?
Russians?
It's like the worst stereotype.
But if you're spinning and you're in a zero gravity environment, if your head's spinning
Yeah,
and your body's spinning,
can't be good things.
that's got to be
coming
a
your way.
terrible.
It'd be a lot
drunk
of
experience.
Dustin. Stop eating shots. Stop, because they'd be floating, and you'd be running around chasing them. The shots. You'd have a new drinking game. You would release a bunch of shots, and you'd act like Pac-Man in a room on your cruise, trying to chomp the shots.
Okay, everything is up and going.
These are things you need to run on.
She's taking notes, dude. Watch
yeah,
out.
she knows. She's getting what the common man wants.
Drinking in space.
Drinking in space.
Can I do other
Drinking
things?
game.
Terrible. Terrible. All right, what else?
Edibles in space.
There you
Yes.
That's my
Mushrooms
thing.
in
There we
space.
go.
That's the way to go, I think.
It'll help you relax.
go. Microdose the whole way up there.
So if it doesn't take off, you still think you're in space.
Well,
They have a malfunction. You're already there.
It's a way to get over the launch, isn't it?
How would you do tutor
Having
in
nerves.
space?
I don't think anybody has ever gone that far.
What if there was a
And
cruise?
you had to take
what
it
if there
there.
was a space cruise strip club?
Let's ask Ron
Oh,
Washington.
that would be fun.
Whoa, that sounds
That would
like
be
a really
fun.
good
There'd be a
time.
lot of people chasing tutor. We're not live yet, by the way. Right?
The streams are. I just said all the streams are up and running.
Right as I
I
start
think I
talking
just
about
said
that.
that. Yes.
Right as my mom hears me making
Yeah.
jokes about strip clubs in space
In
and
fact, your
chasing
mom
cocaine, swimming
Is
for
already
cocaine.
commenting in here saying she's disowned you.
Oh.
So, all right. You want to do this?
Let's do it.
You want
Yeah.
to start this up?
Yes.
All right. Let me see here if I can do this like doing this. I can bring this down a little bit. I don't know. Where?
How's the lighting? Does everybody look good?
Everybody looks good. The camera always makes you dark, but that's good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it makes you dark over
I
there.
keep
There you
forgetting
go.
that's like a camera right there.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So the lighting's good.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole
Rest in
team
peace.
here.
This episode of the Last is brought to you by
Geist Note.
And
Nice
Victor
note.
Wrench.
and Plastic Object.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
So the intention here was to have a conversation. We're going to choose an interesting person to ask interesting questions, and I would respond with interesting answers, and you would have an interesting
Do you recognize the big flats?
piece of audio to listen to.
I just saw the
And
picture and I was like, oh, that's it. Yeah.
The more I thought
They still
about it,
have
the
that.
less interesting that
Walgreens.
concept became.
Swaying back and forth. A beautiful thing taking me away. All of my most sensitive areas were inflamed. My extremities pulsated with tingling sensations.
When we're recording.
Thinking of my life, why I feel alive, and why
Kansas
I'm
City.
here. How much time do I have? Joking with my mind about the times I felt alone, away from home. Why I'm moving, why I'm stalling. Proposition about the difference from a life at home. How it's changed since the day I drove a car at Casey. And the shit that we shaded. Why Texas? Why is this? I need this. My Texas. 'Cause I have found somewhere around. You show me the stars, but you come around now. Who is that? I have found this way around my newfound
Show number 410. It is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. That is the Feds. I went digging through songs about Texas since it is Texas Independence Day.
And everybody's taking their time out to poop on Texas today on
Yes.
the social medias. For the last week, actually.
Which makes you angry.
Doesn't make me angry.
You
Makes
said
me frosty.
you hate it when people poop on your state.
I love this song, dude. I've played with this band.
They were a good band. When I put this in, I was like, yeah, that's a total 90s sound.
Such a
Sums
good band,
everything
dude.
up.
Every once in a while, I'll run into Matt Slider up in Denton and just be like, dude.
What's he up to these days?
Man.
Probably playing country like
Last
everybody
time I
does.
saw him, he wasn't doing any music project.
Really?
But that's been several. This was before you were even playing with Spectacle at one of the music festivals. Remember when Andy opened up that Hemingway room and I hadn't been up there yet, and we went up there.
He was up
after-
there.
Was it one of our shows then? Did we play up there?
No, we
I don't know
were
what
up
it
there
was.
for one of the festivals,
Yeah.
jacking around.
And I ran into him. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him being up there.
And he wasn't doing anything. I think he said the drummer at the time, which remember, I always thought he was so cool because he'd sometimes play backwards. And then Matt Slider would do a backflip off the stage. They drew, man.
They did.
They drew. We played a show with them and Element 80, and it was nut to butt at Andy's. It was right when they opened everything up. They were turning people away.
I was in that crowd.
You might have been.
That was the old Andy's where you would fall to the stage, and
if you weren't careful,
the bar
you sure
was on
would.
the other side of the room, and it was very dingy and nasty, and the upstairs would shake like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could, if you were downstairs trying to relax and have a drink, and chill, whisper sweet nothings into your lover's ear, wasn't happening. Wasn't happening at all.
Nope.
Because you'd had the feds upstairs just cranking it. But happy Independence Texas Tuesday, Dustin. It's good to be here.
Happy Tuesday, Matt. Happy Independence Tuesday. We got a full room again.
A full room. I hate when we have guests, so it makes me uncomfortable right off the bat again.
But you were the one who wanted to line up this guest.
Yes.
And then
because we've never had someone like this come on the show.
We haven't?
I don't think so. We had...
I don't know. We've done 410 of these
in
a row.
We had that one
every
guy
week
that came on when we first started that wished death upon me. That came in here and was saying all the conservative talking points, and
that was Whiskey Boy. He didn't count.
I mean, he thought he was going to be a politician, right?
No, he didn't. There's no way he would be.
We always try to convince our buddy to run for mayor.
Tony Diaz.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Diaz.
he used to be the
Mr.
mayor of
MC
Fort Worth.
of Fort Worth.
I mean, it's open right now. I didn't see him sign up for it.
Are you running for Fort Worth mayor?
No.
You're
No,
going
I'm not.
bigger than that. You're going for president.
You don't read show notes, do you?
No, I have not opened the show notes.
Wow.
So let's just go ahead and introduce our guest, so people don't think we're imagining.
We'll go around the horn and we'll start from my
presidential
my
candidate
left.
elect.
We will go left. We'll go clockwise. If you're looking at your radio, we will go clockwise around the dial.
Okay, sounds good.
Starting right here.
Okay, so my name is Katie Johnson, and I am running for Fort Worth City Council District 3. So not president or mayor, but city council.
Damn. Sorry, Dustin. I thought that's what they said.
It's neat when you look at show notes beforehand. And
You're like, oh, he leaves, and so. But yeah, so do you want me to introduce myself further, or are we still going around the room?
Your friend. Your running mate. Is she going for vice council, I guess, right?
I'm actually running for president, and my name is Mimi. Just
Mimi.
kidding, I'm not running for
President
anything.
Mimi.
I'm just helping her on her campaign.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So she's not the vice city council
Not yet.
person.
No.
Do you get a
personal
vice?
assistant?
Yeah,
we can call that.
Like if she wants to get a Dr. Pepper or something, she's like, "Hey, I need a Dr. Pepper. You're my vice city council person."
Exactly.
And I
Go
give her $2 and be like, the store's that way.
Uh-oh, I think you're gonna have trouble with
She's
this
gonna
one.
get fired soon.
That's a terrible personal assistant way
Yeah,
to do things.
I'd be looking to replace Mimi immediately.
Oh, poor Mimi.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm probably the best personal assistant you'll ever have.
No,
I don't know. I've never had one. They always get sick.
Now, you're not the Mimi that gets people off of these drunk driving ordeals, right? That's on the billboards.
Mimi coffee.
Whoa,
Yeah, we already did that.
Not, but I
Okay.
She owes me money.
Drinks at night, coffee in the morning.
And who is this I hear on the airwaves?
That's a sexy voice there.
My name is Aaron Sanchez. I am a District 3 constituent.
You are.
There we go.
Hi, Aaron.
Bum, bum, bum.
Got the curveball thrown at you.
He has come loaded with fastballs.
I've come loaded with work, actually, but I do have questions.
This is going to be great.
Great. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome.
So
Right as we started getting emails about stop doing political shows,
we
have
do a
someone that's running
locally
for
political
office.
one. So here's the deal.
These are fun ones, though.
All our friends that live out of state, sorry. All our friends that
Turn it
live
off.
out of Tarrant County, sorry. All our friends that are in Europe that are listening to the simulcast or whatever.
Not necessarily.
No.
Because what if she's the next?
I will
what
show
if,
you the
what if
British.
she? What if she advances so quickly, kind of like a lot of these politicians have lately, and next thing we know, she's in Senate.
And then,
standing-
or you just jump and you fly over to Europe and become the prime minister
Queen of England.
There we
England. You could do that.
go. Oh, really?
Just become the PM over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it Boris Johnson right now? Isn't that his name?
I believe so.
PM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is PM.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna get into.
I don't know if that's how English politics work, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't think you can start in Texas and then wind up over there as PM. I
don't-
don't think that's how that works.
You can try.
Anything's
We're not here to
possible.
stop you from trying.
Okay.
The first thing is let's get you into city Carol. Sorry, I just made everything screw up.
This is his first podcast ever.
Yeah. Have you ever done this before?
First thing is let's get her into city council.
Yes.
Let's try to help her.
Yeah. And it might not be a good thing to say you're from Texas after what happened today.
Today, 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
every other year.
Yeah, it's been a fun week. The trolls are out. It's been
Yeah.
fun on Twitter messing with the trolls.
Yeah.
And today we had are we gonna skip? No, we got to shoot the shit, but we have something to
This is
announce.
shooting the shit, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this is
For
breaking
people that
news right before the show
hasn't
started.
heard, Texas, we lost our mask today. They said, or not today, it's next Wednesday. Said we could go ahead and shed the mask.
Wait, what happened 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago was when everybody
Ice-mageddon?
was pooping
Oh,
on
shit.
Ice-mageddon. Everybody was making fun of us.
Right,
because
we
of
were in the
grid.
dark ages. I forgot about it.
You remember?
In Texas,
We got knocked back a
everybody
couple
was
centuries.
laughing at us and saying, "Oh, you're never gonna survive now. Serves you right making all
What's
those
it like
California
having
jokes.
your own
What's it
power
like
grid?"
now?" And we're back in 1 month or in 1 week.
You don't need
1
water
week.
to live.
My
Yeah.
neighbors still don't have water.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Well, we
Well,
don't.
your city council
representative.
city council
future
representatives.
Do
Right
you know
here,
any
so-
plumbers?
I
Yeah,
have a
so-
list if you need some.
And today's Texas Independence Day, so
On Texas Independence Day, our wonderful and glorious governor that we've talked highly about on
everybody
this show
knows
for
we're
years.
big fans of the man.
We're huge fans,
Yes.
giant fans of what he does. Decided that on next Wednesday, he is going to open up the state. We can go to 100% all businesses, and we no longer have to wear masks anywhere,
So-
which caused chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Cause chaos on the internet. Socially, yeah.
Yes.
But so I didn't hear he did go ahead and open up 100%, so bars and restaurants can, and everybody can open up full on with no occupancy restrictions. I didn't know that was part of it.
Now, what a lot of people are overlooking is if he wants to, or if they want to. It's their option.
Yeah, which everyone's going to do it because it's business.
A lot of businesses are struggling, right?
Yeah.
But
What you
it's
doing there, buddy?
Well, yeah,
Snussing?
what's going on here?
there, man?
Is that illegal?
It's just nicotine.
LSD.
Okay.
It tastes like mango.
Let me get a hit of that.
Mhm.
Let me try some of this mango stuff here.
So yeah, you can.
Rogue.
You can also stop wearing your mask next Wednesday, unless you live in Tarrant County, in which our wonderful judge Whitley
Mm.
decided
I'm Judge
to.
Whitley.
He didn't want things to be confusing because I guess he thinks everybody that lives in Tarrant County is a moron. And he decided just, immediately, no mask, 100%. Let's do it right now.
Oh, so Tarrant County's full on.
We're full on as of, 3 o'clock today?
Unprotected sex.
Yeah.
Tarrant County, huh?
Yes. We are full on, can
Let me
do
turn your
whatever.
Headphones down? Is it too loud?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I didn't realize this, so
Yeah.
you just burst my bubble right here.
Yeah, they were gonna have a meeting. City council was tonight on the mask mandates, and they went ahead and canceled it because of Judge Whitley's
Decision.
orders. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the
decisions.
man, you would
I had to
assume that
pull
he would
up.
jump to this conclusion, right?
Yeah.
If I looked at the man, he would either jump to this conclusion or be opening the Ark of the Covenant after a certain group of people found
Let me
it.
see this.
Or be a mall Santa.
Or a mall Santa. There you go. He's either.
Oh, he's
either
got
or.
the. That doesn't sound good. Maybe I won't look him up. I was gonna look up his photographic.
He
I'm
doesn't
not
like
a big
my
fan of
people.
his. I'm not a big fan of his at all.
Let's see here, Judge.
No, I mean the only
George
way to
Whitley?
be is if you support like voter suppression or Confederate monuments, because that guy stands for both of those.
That's not really a popular thing to
Stand
to
behind.
stand behind right now. That's not the hill you want to die on right now. Is
Not right now.
Is supporting Confederate monuments and what was the other one you
Voter
said?
suppression. But you know Texas loves
especially
that.
the voter suppression
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Isn't he the one that said that illegals and Mexicans get in drunk driving accidents, and then his son did it the next day?
Oh, I don't know about that, but
Judge George.
Maybe so.
Let's
I
see.
think
That was
I think that was
someone
him.
in Tarrant County, and I think it was him.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wait
I
a
didn't
second.
even
Yeah, here he
get
is.
That kind of statistic, because that doesn't even make any sense, like, whatsoever.
Yeah.
What's that? The
Well,
the-
it's because
what was
my
it?
people are inherently evil in their eyes, so therefore we are the cause of all crime,
You know,
Only when it's
no.
beneficial to them,
beneficial to them. Yeah. If
I
they,
just-
if
and not
we-
when their sons
exactly
do the same,
Right. Right.
like the next day,
Right.
allegedly, maybe.
Now you're learning the game.
I don't know.
here.
Sue Dustin.
Okay.
What'd you do, Dustin, this week before we go head on?
We're just going to jump the. Wait, no. So, how do we feel about this? I mean,
About the mask?
internet has exploded.
I think
Facebook has been fun. I was just making fun of everybody freaking out because it's everybody has to lose their shit about everything.
I've seen. Okay, so I say I haven't seen anybody freaking out, but I did right off the bat. Within 30 minutes, I was in a restaurant talking to a GM, and she said that family that just walked in over there without pointing, which was still obvious because I was like, where, huh? So, which never do that to me, by the way. If you're hanging out, never tell me, hey, that person over there, because I'm the worst to just go.
You're gonna let them know.
No, I'm always like. Anyway, apparently the first thing they did, I promise, I hadn't even gotten a notification, a text, or anyone talking about. This is when you and Brian first started talking about it, I think, or you and someone, or it was Matt Thomas or someone.
We
It was
were all,
right after
everybody
that.
was.
It was not within 30 minutes from when that happened, and a family came in and they wanted to, at this restaurant, they've always, from day one, scanned your temperature before you came in, made sure you had your mask, then they seat you. And a family came in and they went to skin, and the lady was like, "What are you doing?" And got all snotty with her and stuff. And we aren't doing that anymore. Just started nitpicking, and the store manager was like, "It's still our policy, so if you're gonna eat in here, put your mask on and take your temperature." So, but I have a feeling. Yeah, let's go ahead. I have a feeling that most restaurants and bars are just gonna
91.
immediately. I'm dead. You're dead.
95.6.
I bet that it goes away within 1 week. I bet there's not going to be any, because the mom and pop shops, unfortunately, they can't make a stand on this. It'd be nice if they could, but they can't. The chains are going to go straight to money and say, "Look, Twin Peaks opened up fully. They've been killing it. So, and Chili's did it. So now, and then Outback, it's just going to be, money's going to play in. There's not going to be any self-monitoring. We just went from 0 to 100 in 6 hours."
The problem I see is that if the mom and pop chains or the small
Try to
boutique
enforce?
shops try to enforce this, you're going to have people that fight them about the
That's
whole.
the other thing.
They've
too.
been-
I don't
they've
have
been
to wear a
getting
mask.
fought this
There's
whole
no blah
time.
blah blah.
Right.
And they're going to lose.
That's
They're going to end up
exactly right.
losing a
They've been,
customer.
they've been losing this whole time
forever, and they're going
they
to
have-
just keep losing.
Exactly.
So they're going to have to cave. It's sad.
So once again, if you ask me, like we've just like you've said, we've let it known our position on Mr. Perry, Governor Perry. We'll be
What?
polite.
Why Governor Perry? He's not even the governor anymore.
No, not Rick Perry. Yeah, damn.
Abbott.
Abbott.
Greg Abbott.
Where have you been?
I don't know, man.
2007 over here.
Yeah. Yeah. We've told everybody how we feel about Abbott,
Yes.
and today was another dumbass decision. I think he thinks too much about. I think he's thinking way too much about getting reelected because he thinks for some reason he's going to throw a Hail Mary and he's up for reelection in 2022, right? And he's trying to appease both sides, and he keeps talking out of both sides of his mouth. That's the whole reason that the country got as screwed as it did, if you ask me in the first place, is it became a political football. Once that happened, that's when we went into chaos. And this, unfortunately, just going 100% wide open is probably going to cause more chaos because you're going to have things that happen that get videoed. You're going to have a bunch of jackass, what we like to call them in here, maggers, that are like, "I don't have to do nothing." That do that. This is like, "Screw you," and take it out on some poor 18-year-old girl that's working the door, like seating people at a Chili's. That has nothing to do with any of it.
Her first job.
Her first job ever. You're going to have this big cowboy yelling at her because of something that she didn't have anything to do with, and it's going to be videoed, and then we're going to get more Texas hate. It gets back to more Twitter trolling of Texas.
So I have a couple of things here. First off, everybody that freaked out and went nuts about this not wearing masks or that we don't have to wear masks anymore, nowhere in the press conference did I say that see, unless I missed it, Governor Abbott say if you are caught wearing a mask on the streets, you will be executed and hung publicly in the town square as a display for everyone to see.
That was between the lines.
Oh, was that between lines? So if you still wear a mask,
you'll die.
You'll be
instantly.
killed.
Yeah.
Someone will hunt you down.
Snipers.
So you still have the choice to wear a mask. And last time I checked, you still have the choice of
Social
where
distance, too.
you are a customer at and where you spend your money and where you visit. You know, you don't have to go somewhere that's at 100%.
But yes, but the thing is, and I get the argument is that, like right now, she's wearing her mask. I'm not. I have my antibodies. I have the paperwork. I did the whole blood draw.
Let's see him, buddy. Get your papers out.
God, I've heard that plenty of times in my life.
Where your papers, boy.
So she's safer by wearing her mask if I had it.
Yeah.
But she would be safer if I also wore mine. So that's their concern, and I get that.
You're totally right.
And I don't want to sympathize with Greg Abbott of all people.
And I'm not sympathizing.
Politicians, period, are trying to walk that fine line to please both sides. Where, how do we make the person actually at risk happy, versus how do you make everyone else also happy? It's a lose-lose on all sides, and it's been handled very poorly on all sides.
But the thing is, the ones that have handled it the worst, I think, are the ones that used it as a political football. There's places like South Dakota or was it North Dakota, where the governor just laid it down. Yeah, yes,
there's a lot of oil field workers.
There's less people that work there, but they went with one policy, stuck to it, and did it, and that was it. And that's the thing is, this waffling of policies and stuff, and let's see what our party and what the narrative's going to be and what we need to do and how we need to make this Orange Man bad and make it Orange Man bad, or let's make it Antifa bad. That's the problem. That's when it got really wanky, if you ask me.
Can I tell you what this really was? That everybody keeps missing.
Which one?
This announcement today was?
I haven't seen the whole. By the way,
you don't have to see it.
I haven't seen the whole press conference.
You don't have to see it to get this.
Is this a storm cover up?
This was all a distraction.
Yeah.
This was all a distraction to take everybody's attention away from ERCOT and everything that was screwed up 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because Homegirl yesterday was on the stand when she resigned, and she threw everyone under the bus. She's like, it's your fault, and your fault, and your fault. She opened it.
And you know what they did last night? We got to figure something out.
White Castle, too.
And Abbott has been, for the last week, teasing that this is coming. And last night, they all got together and were like,
now's the time.
Now's the time. We got to change everybody's thought pattern.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that, unfortunately. Is it being another... Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at potentially what happened with Enron.
And that's the thing. Once they do the investigating, they're going to find out that it's margins. It's a ERCOT letting big energy companies, or not the energy companies, but the electricity providers make a higher margin by not buying enough resources. I bet at the end of the day, I bet you that's what we found out happened, and it bit them in the rear. And so you're probably right. It's just a big cover-up. Hey, look over here because we don't want to see. You don't want to see what's down here.
You won't hear about this. This will be now. ERCOT will be after the 15-minute mark on the nightly news. It will be, pages into the newspaper if they still print them.
And unfortunately, he's gonna get reelected.
I don't think so, man. I think he has pissed everyone off.
There's a lot of people.
He's going to be for a presidential run in 2024. I think is the other rumor.
Oh my God! There's no way.
That's the rumor. So
no.
He'd get annihilated.
Yeah,
I think.
I would hope.
His lieutenant is.
He won't make it.
There's a lot of jokes that I can't make out of respect to everyone in the world right now, but
we'll let you come back and do them.
No, I'm a new man now, Dustin, and I won't make these sorts of jokes anymore on tape.
Okay.
Well, we're not taping, so
give me Drunken Fortress Fest and we'll talk.
Okay, we'll do that.
Anyway, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that at all, but I could totally see him do. I don't think he will, because I think who's gonna. I'm Ted Cruz. He's the one that's gonna pick up the MAGA ball and run with it. I bet.
I would love that.
Oh,
and that's gonna keep. Abbott, not Perry. I just used to call him Roller Boy, but I guess we can't do that.
You don't call him that. You call him Wheels of Steel.
Wheels of Steels and Glory. flames
and
and
it's
glory.
not nice.
That's
I
not
know
nice and
it's not,
funny.
and it's none
It's
of the
not.
no one else's opinion on here on this podcast show. But yeah,
I would
I
love
have a
for
feeling he
Teddy,
keeps at bay.
Raphael to run because every chance to kick that man in the balls, I'm for.
Raphael.
So, Raphael Cruz, that's his real name.
Oh, well,
so like he made fun of
I'm
Beto
Ted
for
Cruz.
going by Beto.
yeah.
When his name isn't even.
We need to
Ted.
find more
You-
evidence that he's a Zodiac
Did
killer.
you guys see the Saturday Night?
He admitted
Live?
it.
Did you guys see the Saturday Night Live impersonation of him?
No, I don't
I
watch.
did, yeah.
That's not.
I did.
Man, he looked when he really came off the plane and they had that camera in his face. He looked so pathetic. He was like, "I went to Mexico." He's like, I
I
don't
haven't
know
watched
how
this
they.
week's. I need
You
to
get
watch it.
no. I'm not talking about the Saturday, like the real footage when they
Oh,
were
okay.
when he was getting hit up. It's like he realized there was nothing he could do. All he had to do is just say, "I screwed up." Instead, he goes, "I went to Mexico. My daughters wanted to get away. I promised them a trip. I flew them there and came back to the great state of Texas to help out with this tragedy, or not tragedy, the Ice-Mageddon." And then the look he had on his face was like a kid that just stole a bunch of cookies out of the cookie jar. It was just like, it was sad. Poor Ted. I do.
Raphael.
So the
Raphael,
more
sorry,
we talk
I'm
about
sorry.
this, the
Sorry,
more
man.
I'm starting to understand why people are making fun of us for the past 2 weeks, and I get it now. I get it.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are making the argument.
Yeah.
Yes, make fun of us.
Oh no! Well, we're
It's
the
open
first.
season.
We're first in line.
Yeah.
Hey, but we're gonna secede, brother.
That's right. Text it
Is that what you're here to promote?
to announce.
You're going to help us succeed?
She didn't realize she's in a Texas militia group podcast. It goes. We send this immediately down to Alex Jones. Did you know that?
And then it's
No.
played on
Then it
InfoWars.
gets played on InfoWars, and then yeah. So
Okay, so I wanted to show you something. I meant to bring this in last week,
okay.
but I didn't.
Yes.
Jeffrey Lord's wife
Yes.
made us something.
Okay.
She
Let's
made
see it.
You know, she's in the
I was wondering what that was. I saw it.
she's in the gourd business.
Yeah. That's cool.
She makes
Ooh.
light up gourds. So she
very,
made
very
Oh,
cool.
wow.
an official JJ TM cord.
That is so nice.
Tell
of
me
her.
the back says SIT.
Huh? The back of it says, "Suck it, Stubbs."
I knew it. Golly.
What's that backstory?
They don't like me.
Well, there was a
They just don't like me.
years and years. What year was that? It was.
I have
it
no
was the
idea,
year we
man.
both won. I don't remember which one it was. It was like the second year we both won the Fort Worth Weekly Music
Oh,
or
nice.
Fort Worth Weekly Best of for podcast.
Yeah.
We were both running,
Is that when it all started?
and we had these fake campaign videos we did. Like
We
you know,
gotta find those too.
oh, I've got them, and
Yeah.
they're just fake campaign videos we made up. And at the end of Jeffrey Lord was doing the Funky Town podcast at the time, and at the end of it, he put "Suck it, Stubbs" hashtag "Suck it, Stubbs," and it stuck.
It caught on like
Oh, that's
wildfire
funny.
for a
Yeah.
while.
Kind of
That's funny.
So
Yes.
branded on the
That
back.
is awesome. No, that is really cool.
It's
Can't
pretty
wait to light
badass.
up in.
It's already awesome. She
Really
made the
appreciate
Thunder
it.
Gourd too that we got in here.
Oh, she made that too, huh?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Does she have like a business doing this, or is this a hobby?
Does she sell her stuff? I know she's very
Yeah,
artistic.
She sells it. It is a business.
Yeah,
That's
she does.
awesome. I love that. My son
Yeah.
would love that too.
So,
They're fun. When I'm
Oh,
out
yeah.
so
here,
that all
just by
started
myself,
with the
give it-
political, the video, the not the political, the us
Ooh, no.
campaigning to win.
the best of.
Best of.
You
The
guys
best
need
of.
someone to make your campaign.
We made a pretty beautiful campaign.
really
ad.
did. It
Really?
Now the copy
It's
point
full
was
of
a little
slander.
silly.
Yeah.
was
But-
full of
Okay.
slander
It's
and
a-
false
It's amazing what you can find on
information.
these stock video sites that,
Yeah.
that make you look glorious.
Oh.
We were definitely
amazing.
Wow.
we were definitely playing by the fake news rule. We were issuing fake news into
Total fake
the
news.
campaign videos. So
Yes.
if you want us to do that for you, we can definitely.
Absolutely.
If you want a campaign based on fake news,
We can do a campaign video, and we'll just make up weird copy point and just sub it in there, and it will be
Okay.
yeah.
weird.
I would
As long-
love to see
As
that.
long as you don't run for mayor in Watauga, that's off limits. That'll be in the contract because that's my territory, and I got plans for potholes.
I don't think you have anything to worry about over there.
Why?
I mean,
He voted
it's just Watauga.
sad. That's
Sad.
messed up.
So, one other thing I want to talk about real quick. Get in here.
The Olympics.
No. Next, we have finally picked a weekend for the JJTM road trip. It'll be next week. And we were going to do Dublin and Stephenville for
St. Patty's.
St. Patty's Day. Dublin is the Irish capital of Texas. We were going to go down there. But
The city council down there
said no.
Said no, we cannot enter there. We have been
They
banned
took a
from
vote.
Stephenville.
They were afraid we would come down there and dance. We told them we would throw a dance
Dublin
out of
wanted
city
no
property
part of us.
in a grain mill. And they said no.
Stephenville,
Yeah.
really?
Wait,
Oh,
and
just-
Dublin.
And
So,
Dublin.
well, thank you, Dublin, for banning us for our first trip for St. Patty's Day down there. G'day, mate, to you.
That's not really what happened. But I had
And that's Australian.
I have a job opportunity to do a photo shoot in Austin on Saturday. So we rerouted and we will be doing Austin next weekend. You will see us around town.
And we know what you're thinking. Everybody's like, oh, imagine that. Oh, they had to
look at that.
reschedule and go to Austin again.
No, seriously, I had a client call me this week and
Yeah,
said
it has
they
nothing to do with friends, family, and
no,
parties and moon towers and things of that nature at all.
but we will be at the Moon Towers.
Party at the moon tower.
But we, yes, I had a client reach out to me last minute. It's an emergency photo shoot type thing, and was like, "Can you come down here this weekend?" I was like, "Well,
It's the Abbotts.
we can work it. It's not the Abbotts. I'm doing the Abbott family picture. The spring.
After we talked all that shit.
Yeah, I'm doing the Easter photo for the Abbott mail out card they're doing.
I wish you were.
He would, man, he would suck
I
at
would
an Easter egg
love it.
hunt.
Why is that, man? So anyway, we'll be down in Austin next weekend, having some fun. And yeah, we're gonna be. It'll be our first video trip. We've been talking about doing these once a quarter, and this will be the first stop. We didn't want this to really be the first stop, but
Yes, we did.
it will be. We're gonna go a little nuts, so it'll be fun. We'll see in Austin.
Yes.
So now we turn to Katie,
The guest, KT.
Yay.
who's running for District 3 City Council.
City council.
Got a ton of
Not
questions
mayor.
for you.
Not the president,
Not the
Not the president, huh?
not the prime minister. I
Okay.
don't think Texas has a prime minister.
Not yet.
Yes,
We could
we could.
after Texas.
Not
see if
lieutenant
we almost set it
governor.
up.
So let's
Why?
get to know you.
No, just playing.
Do y'all have any specific questions, or y'all just want me to?
We want to get to know you and let.
Are you from
everyone-
here?
Yeah. First, let's go there.
From where? Am I from North Richland Hills?
From
or-
Fort Worth. Now, see, here's the deal. We're doing the show in North Richland Hills.
Yeah.
We consider ourselves Switzerland
Okay.
What?
because we have us personally have no weight on what happens in the city of Fort Worth.
True.
So we can't vote. We can't put anybody in. So this is a good neutral ground to talk about things
Love that.
outside. So
Then I showed up.
then he,
Yeah. Then we threw the curveball and brought a constituent in,
yes.
or a potential constituent. When's the election, by the way?
May 1st.
When are we talking about? May 1st.
Mhm.
That's
Okay.
the same day as the. It's all elections, right? For all seats
I believe so. Yes.
for the
All of-
mayor.
Yes. For mayor, Fort Worth ISD. I think city council. I'm trying to think if there might be a water one, but I'm not sure. I need to look that up.
A water vote?
No, like
We like it, so
I
we'll
like
vote
water.
for it.
I
We'll
don't
keep
know.
water.
okay.
Let's keep water around. It's good.
Water
Either way,
stays.
water
Yes.
vote. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's on May 1st. So you have 30 days before to get registered to vote. So that's
Mm.
really important too.
When did you have to have your hat thrown into the vote
Um,
to be?
I-
Was there nominations, or how does it even work?
no,
for
you
the
just
council?
go up to City Hall, and if you get a certain number of signatures, I think it's like 100. You don't have to pay the filing fee, but if you don't get those signatures, you just pay a filing fee and sign up. And that was due February 12th, I believe. I could be off by a couple days.
Just now, February
Mhm.
12th. When
Yeah.
did you start?
It
thinking
is. You're
about
right.
Doing this.
February 12th.
When did you
So-
start thinking about doing this?
So I actually learned about the current councilman, Brian Byrd, and looked up his spending patterns and budget for the district. And that's what really intrigued me. I started noticing a pattern for a lot of funding going towards country clubs
country clubs.
Which I'm all for. That's fine. Everybody needs to be taken care of. But when that's the main focus, and the main focus is also concerned with future residents and the current residents are getting neglected, that's where I start having a problem.
Well, maybe let's rewind real quick and tell us exactly your district, like this who you would be representing
Okay.
with this seat.
So first off, District 3 is, like all districts, they're pretty wide. So my district spreads like out from going into West Point, backs up behind TCU, backs up to Benbrook Lake, and then backs into Ridgemar Mall, and then going into, I believe it's District 7, which is Camp Bowie going into downtown. So
Got
it's
you.
pretty wide.
So you've got, as far as like people would know the neighborhoods, you've got around Westover, because Westover stands on its own, right?
I don't have Westover, but it backs into Westover.
Okay.
So I have
Look
I
at
have
there.
Como?
Las Vegas Trail, Bryan Irvin, that goes into the Benbrook area. Then you have a little bit of Tanglewood, which is by TCU, and then it backs into also Ridgemar Mall, and then the main part is Highway 377.
Okay, so that's kind of a big area.
Yeah.
That's not the biggest. The biggest is the
Not-
one, right? North.
I think the biggest one is 1, but it's a lot of not residential. So there's a lot of I don't want to say farmlands, but I feel like all the districts are pretty wide, and they just added 2 new districts in. I think there's going to be 2 more.
Really?
Yeah, but there's a lot going on with that. So I don't it's still getting figured out. So I know that they didn't have I know that we wanted to do a private council to be able to figure that out, and the city council went with the city council redistricting their lines.
Is all that lines going to be set up and ready by the vote?
I don't know if that's going to be for this election. I need to, find out a little bit more information
Okay.
on that. That's something that's still kind of being figured out.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, so Brian Byrd is running for mayor.
he is, yes.
So if he's running for mayor, he can't also be running for city council again, right?
Right.
You have to. It's one or the other. And if he loses out, then he's just out.
He
Correct?
is for now. But he has somebody that's already in his camp, Michael Crane, who's the district director that's actually running. So those are the
Okay.
signs you're going to be seeing all over town right now.
Would be your signs and his signs.
His signs more. I'm grassroots campaign. He's
Yeah.
all about the PACs. He's all about the money that backed.
We don't like that.
No, that backed
Yeah.
Bird's campaign. Which I looked up his campaign too. I don't know why you need $500,000 for your campaigns for a local city council election.
That's insane.
Yeah.
$500,000 on a city council election.
And Bird took out, I think,
Wow.
$300,000 of his own personal loan.
Yeah.
So I'm just, that's really concerning.
So the guy you're going up against is piggybacking on Bird.
Exactly. And he is a real estate broker.
Oh, here we go.
So, there you go.
What was his name again?
Yeah.
Michael Crane.
Michael Crane. So you started thumbing through or looking at some of the finances. What caused you to do that? You just had heard rumors of some spending that was going towards country clubs and silly stuff rather than the community. What sparked that?
It was, okay, so that came next. My first concern was some of my family members actually brought it to my attention that, because myself and my family were all Western Hills alumni, so we
Okay.
grew up in this area. They brought it to my attention, Las Vegas Trail and the neglect, and the LVT Rise program that Bird started, and how it's just, it's not enough. It's not even close to enough of what that part of the district needs.
Mhm.
So I was like,
LVT Ride? What
Rise.
Rise? What are we talking about here?
Las Vegas
So-
Trail Rise. So it's like
It's like a,
community center,
okay.
and it's not 24 hours. So that's a big issue too, because that's when the youth, because it's focused for the youth and the
They don't have access all the time for these kids.
right, and that's
Yeah.
when they need it. Is when normally when school's in session, when school's out of session, that's when a lot of the stuff happens to the youth. That's when they really need a facility that's going to be there for them. So anywho, so I learned a little bit about that, and it just intrigued me to find out, well, how can you not find a solution to an area that's had the same problem since I was in high school, which was back in 2004, 2007 is when I graduated. So that's probably really where
That community center thing bugged you a lot, huh?
It's not that it bugged me. It just didn't seem. It seemed like somebody from privilege going into an area they can't relate to, and doing the bare minimum to step up in their career, whatever that is. That's what it seemed like. So
I worked that area. That's one of my in my normal day-to-day job. I work.
I live in that area.
Most of your district, like a big chunk of your district, and I've worked that area since 95, 96, somewhere there. And it's amazing how nothing has changed.
Exactly.
Como looks the same that it did 25 years ago.
With less bodies, yeah.
Yeah. There's been a little bit of cleanup. The only thing I've seen them come through do is redo gas lines and sewer lines through there, and they screwed up all the streets, and none of them have been fixed or repaved. But so Como looks exactly the same as when I ever first drove through there. The same thing with the Las Vegas Trail area. That around the apartments, we'll just put it that way. The apartment, the big loop, the apartment loop, doesn't seem like anything has changed over there. Everything looks the same as it did 20 years ago.
Yep.
And that's pretty shocking. But yet, like you said, there's quite a few country clubs in that area. And it's amazing how they've had their greens redone 3 or 4 times in that time period. All their fairways redone. And you can kind of see where the money has been filtered through the Ridgely area, through the Roaring Springs, up through that area towards the base.
Yep.
And even, Altamere, going out towards the base.
Yeah, that Altamere is neglected for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Altamere.
Can I say something that makes me sound real stupid right now?
Go for it.
So when you said country clubs, my ignorant ass thought like Electric Cowboy. And when you said greens got fixed, I was like, greens? And I was like, holy shit, like
golf
that
ball.
country club.
Yeah, Electric Cowboy Country Club. I'm trying to figure it out.
You've seen
It makes a
Caddyshack.
lot more sense now.
That's West Side's Country Club right
You've seen
there.
Caddyshack,
Electric
right?
Cowboy.
We?
Okay, well there we go. Just Caddyshack.
And then even the stuff out on
Caddyshack
West
2
Highway
as
80.
well.
Yeah,
Like that
Not
area
Boots,
hasn't really
Boogie.
changed in 20 years.
not at all.
And it's just that's kind of shocking. Like, it's like you've got prime real estate through there, prime areas that could be beautiful, and they just seem to be neglected.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that got you going. You decided that the area deserves better. It sounds like is what you're
Yes.
saying. How did that lead into screw this? I'm just going to run for council myself because, I mean, I'll be honest. I get drunk at Sparks and start talking about running
a
for
mayor
being the
of
mayor, and
Watauga.
him being my vice mayor, and
Yeah.
I start like cabineting it out and everything. But the next day, I'm like, "You're an idiot." Just kind of going back to my shell. But you took this the next step. Did people
What say you over the top to do it?
right? Do you have friends
Okay.
and family saying you should do that?
Not at all. So
That's the worst idea you could ever come up with. That's usually you know what though? That's usually a sign that you might be onto something. I think sometimes too though is when
Yeah.
everybody's all right. If you want to walk out on that ledge, go ahead.
So let's back it up some more years.
Okay.
So in 2015, I was working on Altamere, working at a tobacco shop. Really loved my employers, loved the atmosphere based on the fact as a college student, it's very hard to work full-time and go to school full-time and figure out how you're going to be able to manage both and do homework. So
Yeah.
they allowed me to
I sold weed.
there you go. So they allowed me to do both. One night I was working, and this is off Altamere, right in the middle of District 3, right down the street from where I was born and raised, everything.
Right in front of the rail club.
By the rail, I think it's by the rail club, yeah, down the street from it. So I'm working. I'm about to close up, like 45 minutes until it closes up. It's already dark outside. I'm the only one there by myself. A man walks in, draws a gun out, robs the
gosh.
store,
Oh, shit.
takes my phone, which may not seem like anything, but when you have no money, taking someone's phone. I mean, after he took my phone, I literally didn't buy a new one or get service for another year. I was over it.
Wow.
So anywho, that really opened up my eyes to like, what's going on, like where I was born at, like why are people just walking in and pulling a gun out and robbing, somewhere I wouldn't think that would really happen, even though I know West Side where I grew up wasn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
But just to do it that blatantly, like something's going on to where people need money this bad.
Oh, wow. That's really so.
That's a totally different way of
You
looking
were
at it than I
more-
would have.
You're right. And people should listen to that too. Is you were more concerned with the fact that someone was desperate enough to go out and rob a kid than you were, oh my gosh, look at this crime and how bad it is.
Yeah, and this guy that robbed me looked younger than myself. So that was really concerning too. And then another thing that concerned me was the lack of response from Fort Worth PD.
Right.
It opened my eyes too on like, when you do call them and you do need them, are they really doing what they need to do? Are they trained to do what they need to do? Do they have the money, the hours? I mean, really, like, what is really going on in Fort Worth to where, I mean, that man, and I think he had another partner, hit up like 11 different places in a week, and they were never caught. I never had any follow-ups. When I would call, I wouldn't get any information, because going through something like that is going to obviously give you some sort of PTSD. I was scared of where I was born and raised in, you know, and working a job again, but being so poor, like you can't go through like the necessary therapy of even like a small crime like that. You have to just get back. I quit that job, found another one, but it's something that once you deal with it, it really opens your eyes to more than just, your little small circle in the world, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Wow. I just don't know if I would have had that kind of compassion for humanity.
I
if
wouldn't
someone
have.
would have.
I'm not built that way.
Yeah, I would have been like, I want to burn this whole place down.
I would have been, a manhunt would have happened.
Yeah.
And bounties would have been made. And
did you come from a big family, or were you? How many people are in your family?
So I'm from a divorced family. My parents divorced when I was really young.
Way to go, Matt.
Sorry.
Way to go.
walked right into that bear trap.
Sorry.
So, which is fine,
Yeah.
all for it, whatever you got to do.
But
so yeah, it was just my dad that raised me, and then my sister helped my dad. So it wasn't like we had a big group of family. If that makes sense.
What is happening?
Is he getting a tip jar?
Well,
Some water.
Getting our guest water.
Oh,
Thank you. Appreciate it. Water.
Oh yeah, I'm okay. I can prepare.
I have a water.
wonder what was going on. Wow, that was weird. Freaked me out. We're talking about people breaking into things, and all of a sudden there's a tap
Knock
at the door.
I forgot.
Every time I
texted her.
come here, I'm like convinced your wife's gonna call the cops on me.
Oh my
As
god.
I'm just like creeping through your backyard.
And you show up on camera
Yeah.
on the side of the house,
I'm
and
just
I'm
like-
like, what is that guy doing here? Why is he breaking into that?
And like I'll look into your house, like so, like we can make eye contact, like just hoping she
She'll
remembers
shoot
me.
you.
And then I'm thinking, like, don't peer into the windows, creep.
Yeah, peeping.
Look the other way. But if you look the other way when you're coming down this way,
Yeah,
you
they
look
don't
into
look
their
shady.
house.
Just walk down
No,
the
just-
bridge and you're good.
Yeah, just
You'll
go down the
be
bridge.
fine.
I'm so happy we're not friends because you honestly would give me a heart attack.
Him?
Even if I was expecting you to come in
Oh,
the house.
she's the wife inside the house.
Yeah,
I'm like the most startled person.
See?
I break stuff. All my coworkers, my boyfriend finds it really funny to scare me because you'll just walk in and I'll know that you're coming in and I'll just pick.
And I'm generally a nice guy,
Generally.
but I do give off that impression.
I've never gotten that impression from him. Have you?
You
Of him
will.
being a nice guy? I've never
Yeah.
had the impression either.
I've always thought he was a creep. Just saying. No, man, he's awesome. That's why we keep him
All right.
coming. So where were we at? I'm sorry. Sorry, I derailed the whole
Divorce.
the
Totally
history. Divorce, yeah. Divorce. So
Divorced child.
yeah, and you went to school. You said you went to school at Western Hills.
Yeah. So I went through all the West Side schools, like in my area. I started at Llewellyn Merritt. Went
West Side?
to
Me too.
Oh my gosh, why can't I remember
Leonard.
my middle school?
Leonard.
You can't remember your
Leonard.
middle school?
That's how insignificant
was
it
alternative
was.
school.
Oh, you went to Leonard?
Yeah, I went
Okay,
to
we'll have some
Leonard and then
conversations later.
graduated from Western Hills.
Yeah.
high school. And
So we went to the same exact schools.
what year?
I'm 04, but I don't know you.
I was
But we
at
have
Hills in
41
04.
mutual friends.
Oh, really?
41
When-
mutual friends. Are they all from the
When
west
did you
side?
move here?
1991.
Okay.
Okay.
I know my accent isn't so clear, but I'm sorry, Mr. Dustin.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know when you moved here.
Yeah, I'm 91.
Okay.
Bunch of racists.
Yes. No, so
Dustin.
you,
Dustin and the SS over
I
here.
went to
I was
the
trying to put it all together. How old were you when you moved here?
5.
Okay.
I went to the psych last week because I'm crazy. Not to scare you anymore. I'm not that kind of crazy.
I'm easily startled. It's a flaw of mine that's really comical.
Well, and this guy is like
Is that,
wow,
is that
you're
because something's happened to you though, or anything? Like, did you what, like her? Were you chased down by someone in a dark alley or anything, or is it just you've always been that way?
A little bit of both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's scary times.
bear
I would
trap
be.
Matt.
Why are you walking in all these bear traps? And
How am I walking into bear traps? I'm asking questions about these people I've never met.
I mean, at least I find it funny and I laugh about it.
I was gonna advise that she gets goes into Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu or something, and,
That would be
There you go.
and
Sauna
learn
gym.
some Krav Maga. There we go.
there we go.
Yeah,
All right.
That's the way to do it. If you're gonna learn something.
learn to kill.
Do
Heck yeah.
not mess
Yep.
with Mimi.
She knows
I-
Krav Maga.
Not afraid of him.
She's actually my bodyguard. That's why she's here. So
Yeah, but the psych was like, "You speak great English. I can't even tell from your accent."
Who said that?
What?
My psychiatrist
When?
last week,
Oh.
and I was
really
like,
awkward.
"Thanks, doc."
I would have divorced her then.
My psychiatrist divorce.
Yeah,
him?
move on.
Yeah, kind of.
Fire.
Yeah,
I'm just
fire.
trying to get medicated so I can like work and finish
Oh, I got some
school.
stuff for
Oh,
that.
good.
That is terrible, though. Like seriously.
Was she joking? Trying to get a
No.
reaction? Because, well, I say that because a lot of times that's what shrinks will do.
Wait
Is
a
they'll try to
second.
trigger you a little bit
Wait
to
a
see how you
second.
react, to
Oh,
see what kind of
really?
condition
Did you
have.
have to put your birthplace on the paperwork?
Yeah.
And so that's why.
Yeah, he was like, "You were born in Mexico." I can't tell that at all by the way you speak.
That's pretty bad.
Oh.
That doesn't
That's
sound
bad.
like that doesn't sound
But-
like a psychological test.
And then he
It didn't
practiced
ask,
Spanish
like-
on me, which was actually for a 68-year-old white dude pretty good.
You know, I'm getting pretty
Did
good
you-
at Spanish, man.
Also, OC,
Let's see.
que bueno.
See?
See, my Spanish is gone.
Yeah.
La Mira Mi Carney.
I'm going to start saying the show number in Spanish.
410.
See. See. Hasta luego.
KSSAM270.
Sorry, back to the issue.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Sorry,
no.
we chase we
We
have
do chase
bad
rabbits.
attention problems, and our medication's starting to wear off. So we'll
think
go
we're all in
off.
the same
You know,
boat.
so I kinda,
So back to your area.
Yeah.
That
West
you're
Side.
running for. When you go to the district page, there's a lot of stuff going on. A bunch of capital projects going on.
Mm-hmm.
Are like, I know some of these are going on right now, but is there anything you want to get taken care of? Like you have your eyes set on in the future?
So, I have a few.
I swear, if she says the
Main.
wall
Oh, we're definitely building that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just
around
joking.
Western Hills, the wall.
Yeah.
We're building a
That's
wall
nuts
up
right
against
now.
Benbrook.
You'd have a ton of
Stable.
yeah. All these idiots start voting for her that's not even from her district.
Oh my
Look, she's got it right, man. She's gonna put a wall up.
between District 3 and
Between District
Benbrook.
3 and Benbrook. I like how she thinks. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, you have a fan watching.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Hey, Zach.
Y'all are funny. But okay, so I have a few issues I'd like to tackle if I get voted in for city council. Affordable housing,
Yes.
big problem.
Oh, my gosh.
Huge problem.
Can you do that in
Huge.
Las Colinas for me, too?
When I
Oof.
become
The president.
The
when I become
president
the
of
prime
Texas.
minister
Okay.
of
The
Texas.
prime minister of
Yeah.
Texas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, yeah. So it's bad in West... It's bad over in West Side, too.
Oh, it's bad all
yeah.
over.
It's
I mean,
insane.
That's the homeless problem. I did a before I started running, I did a survey and I just tried to reach out to everybody I could on Facebook. That's actually what I'm doing. So on Facebook, I'm trying to do door-to-door canvassing just to be respectful of people that cannot get vaccinated yet, or anybody that is compromised or elderly. So I sent out a survey to everybody, and believe it or not, the top priority for people not just in my district but in all areas of Fort Worth is the homeless problem. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's no houses in Fort Worth that are affordable, even down to rental properties. It's cheaper now to live in Dallas than it is Fort Worth. And mixing that in.
Really?
Absolutely.
Had no idea.
Absolutely.
I believe it, but
Wonder
it
how that
hurts.
compares to because I live in Las Colinas. It's pretty damn expensive.
Yeah.
I think it's everywhere, but I could see where the development and stuff that's going on in Tarrant County would be skyrocketing the prices.
See, there's more development in, I don't know about Las Colinas specifically, but in Dallas. So they have
Absorb
more
the
supply.
Right.
So they're able to lower, if you look into one bedrooms Fort Worth compared to Dallas,
Yeah.
it's going to be cheaper in Dallas for the quality
Are you serious?
and area.
Wow.
So it's like that, and it's just going to keep increasing when you have representatives that care about the new people coming in and not the current residents. So when you mix that in with businesses that aren't paying a livable wage, you're going to have homeless problem. And you're going to also, when you have a system that doesn't believe in mental health or believe that it should be, free or at least affordable, it's just going to keep increasing the problem.
Right. Well, if Fort Worth keeps knocking down shelters in order to build these,
is that what's happening?
way to better phrase it, but like these halfway apartments.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, I've worked on a couple of them down there off Lancaster. They tore down shelters that could hold, several hundred people in them overnight to then put these 4 to 5 story apartments in that they're reduced. The incomes, or the monthly payment on it is super cheap. Yeah, but still, if you're homeless living on the street, how do you pay for it?
Yeah.
But on top of that, the income. I'm glad you brought that up because that's literally my number one issue. I've lived on the West Side my entire life on LVT since I was 14, 13, and I live there now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I've talked to Dr. Bird about this, and this is my number one issue, you can get low income based apartments, whatever, but the wait list is 6 months to a year and a half. So what are you going to do in the meantime?
Right.
It's true.
But also, I mean, and the homeless, the thing about the homeless that people don't understand, this is the tip of the iceberg. All these conflicts that we've had overseas and stuff, we're starting to pay the piper. There's people that are coming back with PTSD that really need some help, and they are ending up on the streets left and right, and they are everywhere. It's only going to get worse, especially if there's another conflict in the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. We haven't rebounded from Afghanistan and Iraq.
No, we're fixing to move into Syria.
So it is only, the thing that's funny is you talk to any major city, anybody from any major city in Texas, and I would expand that probably in the U.S., and they would say, yeah, our homeless is getting out of control. And people, it's almost like you got to rephrase it almost to where you don't say our homeless is getting out of control and say we got to start taking care of these people that need help finding places to live, because it's almost patronizing when you say our homeless is getting out of control. To me, I hate that, but it is. But if there was a better term to draw attention to it, to where people aren't just like, just throw some money at it. That's how I think change would start happening. Start there.
Well, there literally is nowhere for them to go anymore. And if you go down on the snow days, or when it was really cold, and I was just kind of making some runs around Fort Worth, shooting photos of downtown, covered in snow and vacant, I made a pass through Lancaster.
Yeah.
The East Lancaster area, and there are so many tents underneath the bridges, and so many people just standing out there. And it was, this is after it being -2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A tent doesn't protect you.
I'm so surprised there wasn't more people that died.
I am too.
I cannot believe
it was freaking crazy.
Remember a couple of weeks ago on the show, I came in here and said I saw the same thing in Garland. I met my did a child exchange with my ex-wife. Met at a central location, and it was in Garland. And on all corners there was encampments, and I was like, man, you're used to seeing that, in Dallas city limits in that area. You're used to seeing that even in some parts of Fort Worth. But just now in the suburbs, you're starting to look everywhere, and at busy intersections and stuff, you can just see homeless encampments everywhere, and it's gut wrenching.
And it's like Jennifer Smith just said this in the chat room, which I was going to get to, was when I went over there, the Under the Bridge project was set up and helping everyone during the snow days, and I didn't see a city worker anywhere.
Nope. It was
Anywhere.
on your own. Survival of the fittest.
Yep.
In Texas.
And there's a thing. We get so pissed off at this guy, this mayor of Colorado City that came out with that statement. Of course, half of it was totally.
Oh, the bird when he went out on the.
Half of it was total crazy left field, but the first part of it, I was kind of like, yeah, the government's not going to be there for you. The city's not going to take care of you in situations like this. The utility companies don't care that your utilities are out in situations like this. It's the same thing when it comes down to living on the street. The city doesn't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to round you up and put you in an area.
Well,
so that way you're
you.
not a.
They'll use you for a talking point.
They'll use you for a talking point,
which is where you come in.
Mm-hmm.
But they will round them up and put them in an area so that way they're not a nuisance to everybody else around.
Exactly.
Well, and then what got me so angry was that there was no warming center on the west side of Fort Worth.
No,
That's
not till
insane.
later in the week.
There, what did you post?
LVT
Yeah, so we
Rise
had to
eventually.
open one up because the city didn't provide.
Yeah.
And by the time I got the idea to hey, Pastor, why don't we do this? He was already gone and setting it up. And then I got all he had no city contacts.
So you went
We
to
just
your
opened it up.
church? And,
Yeah, so we opened it up
What
for
church are you attending?
Trinity Chapel off 183.
Shout out.
So, question: City of Fort Worth, when that became the warming centers, where did they put them? The city of Fort Worth, because North Richland Hills had a few set up here.
There was
around
one
here.
on north side, south side, east side, and then they opened up more on those sides of town that the city put up. LVT Rise was late to the game, but not because he didn't want to try, because they had no water.
Really?
We had water and heat. I mean, heat. We got up to 65
church did?
degrees. Yeah.
But that's still better than -2.
Absolutely. And so that's why we did it. And so I got in touch with Dr. Bird, and I was like, hey, you people aren't doing anything. Y'all need to get the word out.
Oh, nice.
How quick did he respond to you?
Oh, right away.
He's running for mayor. Of course, it's right away.
Well, he's
Yeah.
running for mayor, and he's done front door canvassing, and I had a nice 30-minute conversation with him on my front doorstep.
How'd that go?
Really well.
Yeah.
I mean, he came and asked me what we needed and how things are going during COVID and yada, yada, yada.
Uh-huh.
You turncoat.
Well, I mean, he's always been super responsive to me when I reached out to him about needs in the neighborhood.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
How many?
Katie's gonna be
how many
better.
community centers are over there?
Ooh.
The one.
We have Como Community Center, LVT. That's not a community center.
There's nothing
we have
in Ridgely.
one
Isn't there one
In the Ridgely area?
that's by
for
I used
community
to-
center.
yeah, or
'Cause
it's
there-
like a youth center.
There was
I used to
Lockheed
live by
Martin
it.
that had one.
Yeah,
But
there
that's
used to
been-
be
that's
one,
gone.
but that's
That's
gone.
gone.
But there was another one off
That's
of,
now a Whole Foods and REI.
like in
You
the
have a
Ridgely
fanboy.
area off of Thomas Place. I thought there was one.
You better kick a
Community
shout out.
center?
Or it was like a youth center. You're asking like an 8-year-old to remember something.
I showed him that.
White Settlement has
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
has one
of.
over there, but they're on their own, right? They're not considered part of the
Yeah,
district.
no, it's not in the. I
They're
know
on-
we have Como, which they just built that new one, that new community center in Como.
And then you have, Jay Smith also says the Rail Club opened up
Yeah,
as
yeah.
but Betsy wouldn't put it on the list
No,
because
she
of the
wouldn't.
issues.
Yeah,
But I mean, there's so many spaces around there. You know what? You have a goddamn empty mall.
yeah.
How about open that fucker up? Excuse my language, and let people go in there and.
Open the schools
Very
up.
harsh.
Yeah.
Very harsh language.
But still, it's a mall. You have tons of parking. You don't have. It's
Yeah.
a big room.
And I don't care that LVT Rise didn't have water. You have electricity. So,
The big thing is keeping people warm. You can bring in bottled water.
yeah.
That's not that hard to
It's
do.
also a staffing issue, though. I mean, LVT Rice has 3 staff members.
Yeah,
What
you're
about
so
gonna have
in
to
this-
volunteers?
With
Okay.
right, but
They're limited on the.
they're limited on
yeah.
volunteers. But the city has staff members that they could have sent out to help and start opening stuff up.
Absolutely.
But just the fact that they hadn't organized anything municipally to keep us warm.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, my
Yeah.
thought process is, we're Texas. If you see something that says it's going to be -2, shouldn't you have some kind of preparations for people that aren't going to be prepared, like the homeless and things like this.
Well, and they knew it was coming for a week.
Exactly.
We heard about it for a week.
Yeah.
And maybe the power and stuff and all of that wasn't predictable, but helping out homeless people, that's what gets me.
Yeah.
Too,
Yeah.
And I think that's what pisses me off about East Lancaster is, going back to my original point, is you're tearing down shelters in order to put these apartments up when you need these shelters. There's too many people down there just living on the streets that need, when it gets super cold or super hot, need a place to go and survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. The heat's every single year.
Yeah.
We get one of these crazy storms, not to marginalize a regular winter for someone that is homeless, but the heat, that probably kills a shit ton of people every year that are homeless, you know?
And the elderly, too.
And elderly, yeah.
Don't forget, they get hurt every winter and every summer with extreme temperatures.
But these warm-up huts or places were for everyone. I mean, they weren't just for the homeless.
Right.
They were for anybody that lost power.
So
or
the
couldn't
city,
warm them the
that's
house.
the thing that's
the
funny.
city ended up sending us people that were homeless. We got people from old folks' homes, and we got neighbors from the apartments that just by word of mouth heard about it and came over.
It's sad that everything started moving really, really quick once the suburbs and the people with the big houses started not having power for a really long time.
Yeah.
That's what sucks.
Yeah.
Is that we have a blackout, we don't have water. Bam! We got warming places everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what's disappointing. Is that happens every winter. Every winter we should have enough places for these people that are not having the best of luck in life to go to. So that's cool. That's the housing and stuff's big on your radar. I think that the people in your district will respond to that very well, especially if you explain that your opponent is a real estate investor.
Yes.
So I have a question talking about real estate investing and all that. Like, how do you feel about
a real estate brick?
The businesses like fleeing your district? Like, there's a lot of empty space over there.
Yeah.
Stuff that's going on. I mean, Ridgemar Mall is pretty much a ghost town
dying
now.
out, yeah.
There's a lot of businesses that are leaving along Green Oaks, right around there. The Best Buy's gone.
Yep.
I mean, that was one of the original Best Buys in the area. It's gone. A lot of the restaurants are shutting down around there.
Yep. So revitalization is exactly what West Side needs, and with that needs to come more small business tax incentives. So you'll see a lot of the tax incentives go to bigger corporations, 500 or more employees. But that's not what runs Texas. What runs Texas is small businesses. So you need to also have a living wage incentive. Like, I don't care if these businesses are coming into the West Side if they're not paying people what they need to be paid so that they can afford to even live in the West Side.
Right.
So that's something I'm working on, is trying to actually find a viable plan to get small businesses into West Side. My husband is a small business owner. He owns 3 businesses. So he specifically is someone that I'm going to have help me with this, because that's what he does. He took Paco's Mexican cuisine off Magnolia.
Sounds delicious.
It is so good. One of my favorite. I'm not just...
We'll have to take a tour.
Definitely. We should all go. So he actually invested into Paco's. Paco's was actually going to end up closing the door and just, piece out of it. He invested into it. They opened up the building next to it and created... Paco's didn't have a full bar. They served wine. My husband was like, how are you a Mexican restaurant in Texas and you don't serve alcohol?
Margaritas.
Right,
Ooh.
exactly. So he invested into that small business, and it is booming, especially off liquor sales. So he's somebody that I specifically want on my team to give me a perspective of, if you are a business owner, why wouldn't you want to open your business here?
Yeah.
What could change? What can we do? Like, what needs to be done to get businesses to want to invest in the West Side?
Right.
Because as you said, I mean, they're flying, they're leaving. They don't want to be in that area.
What's scary is what I see on the West Side is slowly happening. What has happened on the East Side is you start as these different businesses are moving out, different grocery stores are moving out. You start having food deserts pop up to where you have to go more than 2 miles to get anything to eat.
Yeah.
and that becomes a problem,
Absolutely.
a big issue, because then you start having people fleeing the area as far as housing goes
Yeah.
with that issue. And I'm starting to see it on the west side. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. So the West Side has a bunch of fast food. So there's no healthy options for the community.
Yeah.
There's not a community garden, and that's something I also want to implement. It's like a space just for people to be able to learn how to garden, get educated on their own personal garden. I want to start an organization that's going to enable residents and give them the funds and knowledge to have their own garden in their backyard. So it's a self-reliance on learning the importance of nutritional food and how to grow it yourself too.
Isn't there a place over in Dallas that's doing that in I think Oak Cliff or somewhere, where they have their own garden that the community takes care of, and they employ, or it might be all volunteers.
They do.
And yeah, I can't remember
And
the name.
Como has one too. Como has a community
That'd
garden.
be cool.
But it's super small. So
yeah, I think the one over in Dallas is pretty big.
Yeah.
And they sell to local. I think they sell to the public and grocery stores and stuff. I believe.
I believe so too.
So, what about the concept? This was just sent to me, and it's been tossed around a little bit.
Here he goes with more strip clubs.
Can you have more strip clubs added to your district? No. No, what was...
3 already.
No, what was more... What's been thrown around a little bit is front yard gardens and making those legal, to where you can have front yard gardens grow.
Are they not?
Fruit and
Because I know
vegetables.
District 7, has it.
Can you do it?
I mean, I didn't know that was illegal, but
In the city?
absolutely. No, I'm going to look into that.
It's the west side of Fort Worth. You can't not do it. No one's going to stop you because no one gives a shit.
That is true, but I mean,
That's the
why
wrong
not?
attitude to
That's
have,
part of the thing, though,
Aaron.
is that your neighbors come by and
Yeah.
grab food. If you live on a street of everybody's cool with each other, everybody grows stuff. And
My
you
neighbors
share.
would not be cool with me coming by and grabbing a piece of fruit off their front lawn.
They'd probably want you to do things for them.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Okay.
you need to water this.
I've never been
trim it.
asked by like the neighbors, like lawn dudes, if I want my lawn mowed, because I'm pretty sure they think that I'm her lawn guy.
Oh.
My wife's white,
Oh, really? Okay.
and they see me out there with a mower.
White prize.
Yeah, I got the white prize, and
There
they
you
say, I was like, I wish these guys would ask me if I want my lawn mowed because I do. And they've not once have ever. I've sat there and talked with the guy, and he's like, "Oh, how's work going?" I was like, "Well, my work's going fine. This is not it. Would you like this work too?" I have money.
Next
I
time
have
you have the kid outside, you need to point to the kid and be like, "Anchor baby, right there, anchor child."
Look at his white skin. Look at it.
They'll be see what happened. See what happened, Bill. We should never let them move here. Yeah.
I've heard of that before.
But yeah, that's
Gardens in the front yard.
Yeah,
you want
front-
that to put
front
on
yard
her front
gardens or,
ticket item. Like
Gardens,
that's what you want her to
front,
take care of.
that helps with the community garden aspect of it. I know a lot of developments that are going in these new developments, mainly north Fort Worth, north Roanoke, going towards Denton. A lot of the neighborhoods have a community garden.
Oh, really?
That's
where
cool.
everybody helps out
Oh, I love that.
and benefits from it.
That's great. Yeah, and then also trees that have food on them. Why is that not a thing in Fort Worth? Because it's
difficult in Texas.
Maybe not all.
There's natives. There's plenty of natives on the ground.
Yeah, our natives are pecans and peaches and some apples.
I've seen other trees thrive
Grapefruit.
in Texas. Like
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
fig tree, unfortunately, because I will never have a fig tree again.
Yeah, those are
I
messy.
love fig trees.
You
I have
know,
one on
They're
the
great
house.
until
They're great.
you see the mess.
Yeah, the
The
mess they
birds,
leave.
which is fine.
They
but
do
like,
leave a mess. Yes.
There's ways to get around this kind of stuff, and that's where you have to really, if you're running for office, you need to be creative, or things are just gonna stay stagnant. It's
definitely.
Nothing's ever gonna change until you decide that this is what you want, and you make it your goal, and you get it done.
That's exactly right. And I think the citizens are waking up to the talking points. They're sick of it.
Yeah.
You've got a giant mall you could turn into a garden.
Ooh, that'd be
Yeah.
a big garden.
I want something done with that mall.
District
I
3
wanna
has
turn it
two.
into
We
a
got
skate park.
we have Ridgemar and we have Hewlin Mall. So
Oh, Hewlin Mall's in
you
your
have
district
Hewlin Mall,
too.
too.
yeah.
Okay.
So I believe it's in my yeah.
People got to start thinking about that though, because Amazon and everything, the way it's growing, malls are about to be non-existent. Period.
Mhm.
So we got to think of something to do with that land at
Yeah.
some point.
Create homeless shelters with them. I mean,
Great idea.
Austin's
Skate
doing.
parks.
I mean, Austin's a city I really want to look at. I know Fort Worth is very conservative compared to Austin, but what they're doing for the homeless population and creating
There's a few things I don't agree with down
Yeah,
there.
they've kind of
Yeah.
they got some issues down there too, but at
But
least
what
they're
doing
trying
with the
to.
homeless population, they're creating tiny homes and doing tiny home communities for
Yeah.
homeless. And what I think people are getting confused on helping the homeless, they think that it's not a stepping stone for them until they can get back on their feet. They're viewing helping the homeless as people that don't want to work and are going to keep trying to live off the system. And I think that's something that really needs to be talked about.
That's what it gets back. That's kind of gets back to what I was saying is when people mention the homeless, when you say the homeless, it almost patronizes the people that are down on their luck and
Yeah.
are in that condition.
Absolutely.
But
So
if you
it's like-
also are a city that's enabling,
You're talking about Austin now, right?
Austin,
Yeah.
if you're enabling people to not need to move on
Yeah.
with their life or to realize that they need to move on, if you're allowing them to build a city under a bridge where they have businesses operating and you are supplying them with a power generator
Yeah.
to power everything, you're supplying them with a restroom, you're supplying them with, Wi-Fi. You're giving them all this to where they really, when there's so much available, you have the tendency to be like, I don't need to leave here.
Content, yeah.
Look at all the stuff I got.
What
My
would you
cousin
do
told
then?
me. My cousin told me that under the bridge down there by
Some-
6th Street, there's a guy that set up a whole bicycle shop
Have you seen the meme
Oh,
where the guy has
wow.
a
And he's-
garage that they pull a car into at
Yeah.
Tent City?
down there,
Really?
and he works
Yeah.
on cars. And it's like, okay, well, that's going over the. You can
So,
camp anywhere that
what do you-
camping has been decriminalized. You can now camp anywhere
What would
in
you
the
do?
city.
I mean, how do you? I understand what you're saying, but
I don't know.
Like,
You've
what-
got to
you gotta
have
figure out
you've got to have
something.
boundaries because
Yeah.
once you start setting up shop
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you
you're gonna have
make it
permanent
to where
squatters.
the people are like, I don't need to leave. I've
Yep.
got business. I'm making money. I'm doing this, that, whatever. I don't need to go anywhere.
I have breaking news.
Oh, God.
Breaking news from
Uh,
Aaron.
Fruit trees that will grow in our climate from my wife, the landscape architect.
Oh yeah,
Is it a list?
Pomegranate, plums, pears, apples.
Yes. Love them all.
awesome. Pomegranate will grow here.
Persimmon.
Persimmon.
I
Yeah.
haven't
And
eaten any of
peach.
that.
That's part of the African pumice
We
wheat
used to have
trees.
peaches
And
all the
peaches.
time.
I don't know
Yeah.
that one.
and pecan. I mean, we got pecans.
she's
everywhere.
a
It's a
native
hybrid.
plant expert.
Oh,
it-
where does she work at?
The
She works
pessimist
for
is
a
a hybrid.
landscaping firm over there on the west side of town.
Oh, nice.
It's a hybrid between a
I need a plant.
African pumice tree and
Call her.
a bass
Don't
sand
call
bass
her,
plum.
email her.
I need an acai plant.
Wait, are you being serious?
Fell in
right
love with
now?
them.
Yes, I'm being very serious.
Wait, what'd you say? I missed it. I ignored
I
it.
was just telling our audience what that was that your wife listed the pumice tree.
No, what is it? I don't know what it is. I'm not.
It's an African pumice hybrid with a sand bass plum tree.
I think you just made all that up.
Yeah.
No, I did not. So there is trees we can plant in our front yard that make
That was
fruits
one of the
and
great things
vegetables,
about
man.
going to Hawaii is you just drive around and grab you
Pick
some
something up.
limes and some dragon fruit.
and they don't have
some
spiders,
star
right? Or is
fruit.
it snakes?
Snakes.
Yeah,
They don't have
snakes.
snakes.
Star fruit.
They got a
Yes.
bunch of rats and mongoose. I
And
believe.
chickens if you're on Kauai.
Bunch of chickens you don't
The
want to eat.
mongooses ate all the snakes.
Yeah,
All right,
Wow.
so hard-hitting question.
not the spiders though.
Do you have a hard-hitting question? Because I have one.
You go. I have notes I'm making here as we go along.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
How you feel about Betsy's reign of power over the last 10 years?
I mean, look at the state of Fort Worth.
Well, in some aspects, you'd say it's amazing. If you were downtown, if you were around, there are some parts of Fort Worth that are just simply make the city great.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Betsy Price's range, and I mean, she might as well be a real estate developer also in terms of her main focuses.
Which,
And it-
totally.
Has to come back to bringing in more new people, not caring about the current residents, and that's, Betsy Price and. Not only just her, we have a lot of representatives that keep relying on their personal faith to get us through hardships. And that's becoming a big problem when you call your representatives or there's something massive that happens and they say, well, let's pray on it. And that I'm not not throwing anybody's faith underneath the bus, but I feel like if you sign up for a job, pray at home, but when it comes to your job, your God put you in this position. So with that, you need to do your job.
I think all of us have jobs here that God doesn't hand us daily what we do on a day-to-day basis to make our jobs work.
Yeah. And
I'm totally with you on that. I'm with you. You can have faith. You can
free will and thinking in all religions. So
I work for the phone company.
Yeah.
God doesn't make dial tone.
No. But he created
it's always anyone that's in government, when you hear them running their mouth about, hey, God's going to protect us and stuff like that, once they start saying that kind of stuff, I'm like, yeah, okay, so we're just going to dodge the issues now and just say.
Am I looking at a representative that is supposed to be with the city and supposed to be taking care of me, or am I watching a Kenneth Copeland Ministries?
Exactly.
Just know your audience.
Know your audience, yeah, and that's not what your constituents want to hear. Yeah. They don't want to hear that shit. Don't bring that in here.
And I understand if there's a giant tragedy like what happened on 35.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pray for the well-being of these people.
That's fine.
And everything goes.
That's fine.
Totally get that.
Right.
But
when it comes to policies,
when it comes to policies, and why the highway wasn't sprayed down, that doesn't have anything to do with God and your faith.
No, God
has to do with doing a business.
He's not going to salt or sand the private toll road. But
when you think about the people who actually do bother to vote. So when Bird came to my door, I said, "Are you going to all the doors in the cul-de-sac?" And he said, "Just the ones that vote in the municipal." I was like, "Oh, who was that?" And it was like, "Well, it's you and your one neighbor."
Oh, yeah.
So when
what?
it comes, what?
Seriously?
How many people voted in the last municipal election? Like 10,000?
Not a lot at all.
I've never voted in a municipal election.
And you're the problem. So when you say, when you two said, speak to your constituents, they are because they are the ones who vote because you've never voted in a municipal election.
Mainly because I bounce around all over town because I get kicked out of the house that I'm living in at the time. So yeah,
but you can still register when you move.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. That's where politics. That's where it's most important for people to vote is on the grassroots local efforts.
It's not just it's them that fail us. It's us who fail us because we don't even bother to go and vote.
That's a very good point, Aaron. Because a lot of people run their mouths about how they wear their little sticker every government, like every governor election and every
presidential election.
Every presidential election. I voted. Look at me. But then they But then they forget about it.
This is the vote that matters to you.
Right. They can't even tell you who their state representative is or any of that stuff. You're right.
That son of a bitch, Craig Goldman.
Like everybody votes. Everybody votes at the top of the ticket, and they don't look at the rest of it. That's exactly right, man.
So Bird was just knocking on
constituent stores.
Not getting to try to know every resident.
Nope, he doesn't need to, right? Because they've shown a history.
Yeah.
We've been in our house for 2 years. There's 2 in front of us, 4 years. Everyone there has been there for 20 years plus.
Right.
So they have shown a history that we're not even going to bother showing up.
Right.
We didn't then, we're not now. So why waste his time? And I get it. I think it's shitty, but I get it.
That's 100% shitty.
They came to our front door over the snowvid to see if we had water and heat.
Get some photo ops.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, they don't have water. Well, I didn't knock on their door yet. I was like, but are you going to? And he goes, yeah. Well, no, they did. It wasn't him. It was one of his reps.
Did you watch him?
I watched him drive away.
Oh,
Holy
my
shit.
gosh.
Yeah.
Isn't that
damn,
poor
dude.
business?
That's good. God.
It's another form
10,000 people voted.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
I've never met this guy. I don't even
They
like
don't
him,
have
man.
to chase that vote because they know that person's not going to vote.
What Dr. Bird you said or Judge Bird? What's his name?
Doctor.
Dr. Bird,
Yeah.
I challenge you to a match of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Well, he would lose that because he's a skinny, frail man.
Oh. Well, yes. That sounds like I'd win.
I challenge him to a duel.
A duel.
But that's the thing. It's because
A gentleman's way of
the grassroots effort is
dying.
important because I'm on the CCP board.
Whoa,
and
Insane Clown
it's
Posse?
Russia?
No, so the city
Communist
gives
China?
money to the CCP to fund nonprofits to help reduce the crime in the city. It's not police money; it's city money that goes to help prevent crime, and then we got to pick what nonprofits get it or don't.
Yeah.
And someone in the meeting mentioned that District 3 is the densest of all the districts, which shows even more that he doesn't have to care. There's so many people in those apartment
You
complexes.
can just hang out. Yeah.
He can just keep knocking the doors on the people who he does know that vote, and he'll keep winning.
I was going to ask you, do you think he went to the apartment complexes?
Hell no. I can tell you he didn't go to my mom's because my mom was the one that answered the door at my house.
There
She
you
wasn't
go.
my
Just
baby.
pull up a food truck up into those apartment complex and hang out, have a good time with those people, and you got it.
Absolutely.
That's what you should
Yeah,
do.
I mean, Stacey
Dustin
Abrams
will
that
even
shit.
show up.
Yeah.
He'll cook some. You know what? I'll show up too. I'll cook some hot dogs and stuff.
What's
And then you
the-
can come over.
What's your
Then I can
view
come over to his
on
house.
door-to-door knocking right now during the pandemic? Like,
I don't mind it.
like, what do you feel like it's respectful to the residents, or do you feel like it's what's your? Because I know that people are masked up, they're spaced out while they're talking. Do you feel like that's enough?
Yeah, because you have the power to keep your distance.
Yeah.
You're wearing your mask. If the person's comfortable with or without mask, it's their choice. And you can keep the 6 to 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, if you're comfortable with this,
Ring the
can we have a
doorbell and
talk?
step off the porch.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
He rang the doorbell and sat on the porch. So
kept his
mom came
distance.
and was like, "There's a white guy outside.
Oh God.
He says he's with the city. What did you do?"
Flush the cocaine, Aaron,
Hide your gold AK.
And I went out there and I was like, "Oh, Dr. Bird,
with the paisley
what's up?"
Okay.
designs on the.
Okay. See,
stock.
that's my thing. I can't figure out. Should I start door-to-door knocking?
I think you should
You think I should?
Yeah,
I'm just
totally.
in the
so
daytime.
nervous for not just me, for everybody else too.
In the daytime, and take
I
a
think
friend.
you'd be good if you rang the doorbell and stepped off the porch or
Yeah, do it on the
Yeah.
weekend during
Okay.
like 11 to 1 or something. Or was that a little too early for the hangovers? 1 to 3 maybe.
We're not going off your schedule.
Yeah.
Well, and
I would do
I
it.
think the important thing too is that population feels so marginalized because no one goes out there. No one cares.
True.
That just showing like, hey, I'm here. I'm running to represent you.
Yeah.
I give a shit. It might help.
Absolutely.
I mean, it for sure would help. Transportation and availability and accessibility are different issues, but going and actually like meeting the people and respect. Are you comfortable with speaking to me outside?
Yeah.
Or you're not? Okay. Well, here's my flyer. Here's what I'm running for.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because I would, no matter who, if someone knocked on my door and said, "Hey, I'm running in this climate right now," took the time to come to my place and knocked on the door and did everything, like wasn't in my face, like did exactly what Aaron just said, I'd be like, no matter what her views are at all, I'm gonna check her out.
Because
Yeah.
she gave a shit.
Yeah, because she came to my door.
Because no one ever. Stacey
She heard
Abrams.
black metal blasting. Yeah.
Like I mean, and that's what it is. These people are so marginal. These people. I am one of those people. We're
Did
so
Stacey
marginalized.
Abrams? Just kidding. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't
I'll
live there
I'll
In
tell you this.
in Atlanta, right?
I mean, honestly, from my aspect, I didn't even think about it when people come to my door.
Oh really?
I don't even think about the mask, no mask thing.
Because you
I
brought
just
COVID
kinda-
to us from San Diego. You don't
No,
give
it
a
wasn't
shit.
San Diego.
That's from Los Angeles.
Yes.
I brought it to you.
We apologize. We apologized to Texas for this
We-
several times.
And it wasn't just me. There were 12 of us.
It was mainly Dustin.
But yeah, I was. No, you got egged. I think they were in the eggs. COVID was in the eggs that hit you. So
I did get egged. I got egged.
I didn't even think about the mask thing.
Yeah.
Like people have come by, solicitors come by, hey, you need windows, you need blah, blah, blah. I don't even think about it.
Okay.
I'm just like, get the hell off my damn lawn
Gotcha.
as I pump the shotgun.
Okay, well, we just
Castle law.
We just convinced her to go door to door.
There's
Now
the
she's gonna go
shotgun.
get right back
And there's a lot of guns on the west side. I hear gunshots on a nightly basis.
Yeah, I wouldn't
just-
be rolling through Como at night.
No.
Or LBT.
I'm not, as a
Yeah,
woman,
me
I'm
too.
not running through anywhere at night.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so-
Yeah.
So.
My
What you
wife
do
lived
is
in
do the
Como.
food truck with your husband. That's what you do is take that food truck down to those places and open it up for a couple hours, and then you can talk. Everyone's going to want to hear what you have to
I
say for
love
a minute
that.
then.
Everyone
love
loves
that.
tacos.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing.
I
So,
really like
real
tacos.
quick, talking about my husband's restaurant, Paco's Mexican Cuisine. We're doing a
Plug it all you want.
food drive to fill up a local food pantry. We're starting that tomorrow. So I'll be advertising and marketing for that too.
So
the
swing
Cougar
by,
Pantry?
drop stuff off.
Yep, you can swing by and drop, canned goods off, non-perishable stuff
Sweet.
like that. Yeah, we'll probably be doing it the whole month of March.
That's awesome.
Are y'all doing this for that Cougar Pantry?
We're not. I'm gonna
Sir?
I'm gonna get with them. I'm actually going this
Where's that at?
Saturday to get with the Cougar Foundation to.
There's a foundation
Yeah.
of cougars.
Wow.
For our alumni, our high
You just
school
got-
alumni.
All excited over there. All right, so we've got I think this is the final list of mayoral candidates.
Okay, one thing before we jump to that. We've had several messages sent to us that says, where can they donate to your campaign?
Okay, so I
How
haven't
do we do
taken
that?
one donation yet. I'm going to get, and this is just me trying to keep it super small, but I understand I need donations. I need to get signs out there. I need to get
Do you
more.
have signs?
I don't have signs yet.
Okay.
Which is I'm so late into the game with the signs. Has to do a lot with I'm not trying to take PACs or like. I love that people want to donate to my campaign, but I'm trying to do it in a way which isn't going to work. Like you have to play the rules in this, and I need to get donations. So I'm going to start what I think I'm going to do this week until I can get the final aspects of the bank account. See, I tried to go to Chase last week to get a bank account for funding, and then they told me, which maybe they didn't understand I was part of the campaign, but Chase said that they just changed the rule. So if you don't have a PAC, you can't open a bank account. But I told them I have an
Really?
LLC for my campaign. I have my EIN number. So that's another thing that's made this a little bit more difficult. So I tried to go to my federal credit union.
So you can't just start a GoFundMe or something? Like, we can't do that?
There's many
we can't do that?
like laws in place for campaign corruption, because that was a big thing that happened in like the 70s. They made a
Right.
lot of laws, and those keep evolving.
But PayPal wasn't around in the 70s.
No, there wasn't. There was just under the table money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to do a Venmo. I'll probably start that this week and then transfer those funds into the campaign, because I tried to go to my credit union as well. They don't take business accounts, so I have another one set up with a big bank to get that going.
Sounds like your campaign manager needs to start working this out.
But yeah, so funding, I'll probably start taking
Get on
donations.
the phone with Chase.
Yeah, someone needs to call
Do
Chase.
some yelling.
Someone needs to. But
Someone needs to lose their job. No, just kidding.
But
It's
we'll
probably
take
a bad thing.
donations next. We'll start donations next week. I already have the signs lined up, so everything's lined up. I think I just need to get the funding under control. I've been funding it myself currently.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's only going to take you so far when you're going up against guys that have money, like
it
real estate
is
investors
when you
and
have
stuff, though.
people that are fundraising in Austin
For a race up here.
for a local city council election,
fucking
which is in my
ridiculous, man.
district.
That's why shit doesn't change right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't spend that much time in the district.
No,
They go
Not
and
at
hit
all.
up their
That's one
rich,
thing-
the elite. They go hit up their elite friends
Yeah.
and
Well, that's one thing I always wondered about Betsy Price was how many times did she take her little bicycle rides through the east side and see what the hell was going on over there?
Have you seen
or
bike
down
lanes on the
LBT?
east side? Because I never have.
I never
Yeah.
have. No.
Mm.
I don't think it's a
No.
thing.
But
Why
has she
would
ever
bike in Fort Worth?
ridden her
We're gonna
ass around
die.
over there and seen what the hell's going on? There's some nice areas in the east side of Fort Worth.
No, the city
But
didn't.
there's also some very dark sides that need to be cleaned up and taken care of.
The city didn't care about the west side until the Telegram put out that article like 4 years ago. And
Yeah.
it in my circles and probably in your circles too,
Yeah.
it caught fire and it was like, can you believe this? Don't act like any of this is new.
Yeah.
This has always been the case. But
Well, like I
now
said,
the
it's been
paper
tw-
cared about it.
As long as I can remember, I've been working that area for 20 years. And
Always
nothing's
been the
changed.
case.
Nothing's changed.
It's got the homelessness and the prostitution. That's a new one, but that's because the hotels are all there now.
Well, there was prostitution over there before.
Not like it. I saw a woman walking naked down LVT last week.
I need to spend more time on your side of town.
I believe it.
No, I believe it.
It's too cold for that.
But you also had
It's very cold for
that
that.
was like the strip club district forever for
It
Fort
was,
Worth.
yeah, Camp Bowie right there, yeah.
That
Old
whole
Highway 80.
yeah, that was where you went. Now it all moved to the north side, like where my office is up here off of
Just
Meacham
follows you
and-
around, man.
and 820. I don't know
The
what
biggest moneymaker.
You're financing.
I don't
or
know
something.
how the hell they opened 5 right next to each other.
Yeah.
In one, like within
Yeah.
a mile.
Yeah.
There's 5, and it's like, how the hell does that happen?
They follow your credit card to your address and said, "We gotta go here."
Oh yeah,
That's
he
true.
now works up here.
That's
right?
Triangulation.
No, but
That's
seriously,
true.
how does that work? How does that work? How does the city approve 5 adult businesses within a mile of each other in a certain area part of town?
They probably got some money for it.
They had to,
Yep.
have,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
It's
absolutely.
crazy. So we got the list here of the mayoral Candidates.
You don't have to announce my name on it. So.
I'm looking through here. I do not see Matthew Stubbs at all.
Damn it.
You missed the
My
deadline.
application.
Fed
Yeah,
13.
it must have
It
been
was
late,
12.
man.
So you have Brian
12,
Bird,
not the 21st.
who we've talked about and how crooked he is. Daniel Cladwell. Maylene George.
Hello, Maylene.
Mike Haynes.
Hey, Mike.
Cedric Canada.
Canindon?
Caninda?
The
I don't know who
entertainer?
that is. Do you know who that is?
No.
I have no idea. Maddie Parker.
Hey, Maddie.
Steve Pinante.
Steve.
Anti-masker.
Whoa.
All right. So Deborah Peoples.
Deborah Peoples.
This is the one
Hello, Deborah.
I know a couple on this
You missed
list.
Ends a day.
We're not there yet.
Okay, sorry.
So Deborah Peoples, I'm not a fan of. She used to do a lot of work for our union, and she kind of fucked it up.
Deborah Peoples.
And if she
had a cool
can do
magazine
that,
back in the day.
if she can do that with a union, I'd hate to see what she can do with our city. I'm not a fan of hers. Chris Rector, Leroy Scott, and
Ends a day.
Zeta.
Whatever. I don't live
Learn
over there.
English.
I don't live over there.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
sir. Dustin.
The racism I put up with.
Gosh.
Hey, if you're gonna be American, you need to learn to speak American.
Yeah, just don't say that on any of your conventions or talks or
Learn English, LVT.
Don't say that.
Learn
okay?
English in a country without a set language.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What
Yeah,
was her name?
Sarah Palin
Sarah Palin,
definitely she stuck her foot in the mouth by that statement.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Move to
be
America.
American, you need to learn to speak American.
Oh my gosh.
She said that in a
lady.
campaign.
Yeah, I believe it.
Remember
That's
Joe the
scary.
plumber?
Yeah. That
Is he
cat.
still plumbing now? Like, what's
Whatever happened to him?
every few months I think about Joe the plumber.
He has to have a podcast, right?
Everybody.
Everyone
has
has a podcast.
Right. He's got to have a podcast about plumbing.
Do you have any
Right?
favorites on this list?
Honestly, no. But I've
Wow.
looked into Ann's and Maddie. But Maddie, you know, is a Price. She's from Betsy Price's camp. So I've got some concerns with that. And then I've looked into Mike Haynes. He's
Mhm.
got a lot of good ideologies for the city, but I'm just not sure if the city's ready for that too.
I know.
But I want to know more, honestly, about Deborah Peoples and what she did to your union.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
Okay.
off mic.
Okay.
Yeah, she did some crazy stuff.
What about y'all? Do y'all have any
Um,
preference for mayor?
man, we make fun of all of them. So.
Yeah.
Now, see, living here, we don't really have a shoe to throw in, but I know a lot of our friends are on the south side are big fans of Ann.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
really like her, and
Sounds like
I've heard our friend Jeffrey Lord interviewed her years ago
Yeah.
down there, and she was really good.
Yeah.
She was very well spoken and seemed to have all her stuff together and has taken care of her district.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested
Down there.
in. Someone brought her up to me, and of course,
Hashy.
being a woman, they called her the B word. That she is that. So that's what intrigued me, because when a man says that about a woman, it's usually he's talking about a boss, you know, not what he's saying. So I want to look more into her too. So that
And what
intrigued me.
do you have against her? I mean, she put road humps everywhere. That is kind of annoying. She wants everybody to drive at 10 miles an hour through neighborhoods.
Number one complaint, honestly, number one complaint
Uh-huh.
is that.
Is the road humps?
But what they're gonna do on Hemp Hill
Oh yeah.
and price all those businesses the hell out of Hemp Hill,
What?
all in the sake of
So you tell me what business through there needs to stay.
Benito's Tacos, not Benito's restaurant on Magnolia. Benito's Tacos on Hemp Hill. The Papasaria needs to stay there. All those taco places down Hemp Hill, we need to protect with our
Okay,
lives.
I believe that, but there's so much empty and vacant and halfway homes and stuff down through there
I think that it's
that are just empty.
the problem is she's going in there without the community support or allowing the community to have a voice, and I think that's where the Hemp Hill residents are getting upset and frustrated.
Because the people who probably vote for her are the people who live in Fairmount and Ryan Place, and they're the ones who would love to see that part of town cleaned up.
Absolutely.
I would honestly,
The
Hemp
people-
Hill's shit. I'll say that. I've worked on that street, like I said, another 20 years. Hemp
Right.
Hill
Hemp Hill listener
is shit. There's so
send
much
your
bleed off
email
from
to
JPS.
Dustin Schneider at
Hemp Hill is a
gmail.com.
dirty, nasty street.
Magnolia used to be a dirty, nasty street.
It did.
Yeah.
Let's turn it into that.
And
Let's make it nice.
And-
Why can't Hemp Hill be nice? That's a nice, thorough through into the city that it should be.
this is why I don't run for politics, because you end up having to kick out the people who have lived there for forever.
Right.
You price them out of the homes they've been in for generations.
And you don't give them the resources to be able to live there or the money to be able to afford to live there. And that's where the gentrification starts coming into.
So that's where you start weighing things. Which is better for the city?
yeah.
Do you have a main drive that leads you from the south side
It's cultural.
directly
It's
into
a cultural
downtown?
part of Fort Worth.
Mm.
It is
the
directly
lock your
into
doors
downtown.
and
You already have 2 blocks over in Fairmount all those houses built up anyway. Okay, so why not make the corridor that leads there the main strip?
I think where you
Fixed up.
start
It
is
could
what
be
Aaron was
all-
saying is you protect some of the people, the culture, and the people that are there at that point. Like they're like
Mhm.
some kind of rent. Like if an investor does come in a certain block or area, there has to be a ceiling of rent that he's charging these people that have been there their whole lives and have.
Well, a lot of those
roots
people
dug
over
in.
there own the house.
That's what I'm saying.
but the restaurants they don't. They lease those buildings.
That's true, but you
That-
can put
That's what I'm saying.
restrictions on
This,
stuff.
well,
to
this
there
is
that
just
need to stay there.
this is just an example. Is how to protect the culture and the people, the grassroots of that community is stuff like that. Like you put in place policies that protect and keep you from gentrifying the whole area.
So okay,
like
if you
completely
do that,
pricing
if you do
everyone
that,
out.
you do it this way. The chat room's been there for fucking ever. Okay,
Mhm.
I've been in there since I was
Right.
15, 16 years old. Okay, I wasn't even supposed to be in there.
That's the
Okay,
challenge.
legally. Okay, nothing has changed with that building.
Yeah.
Okay, and they came through and remodeled all of Magnolia, like you said, built it up.
They have a covered patio now.
Yeah, it's been there forever. You can do that with certain businesses.
The
through
problem
there,
is
but there's
majority
a
of the
lot-
parts of the city that have been developed, that's been completely ignored, and that's what they're scared of. Probably is because there's been so many parts of the city where investors
But there's so
have
much
just
on
come
Hemp
right in
Hill.
from
Like
all
I'm
over the
over there
place.
all the
Yeah.
time. I'm over on
No
Hemp
one
Hill.
in this room is arguing
all the
that
time.
you've been in there all the time.
But what I'm saying is, there's so much vacant shit through there.
Yeah.
Fuck it, tear
There-
it down.
yeah.
destroy it. You know what? Go to there. Go to
So
the.
you're not talking about the stuff that's already there.
No, no,
no,
no.
no, no.
gotcha.
no,
Okay,
he's
okay.
not.
Go
but-
to the Air Force Base. Load up a B-52,
Here we go.
and let's.
But what do you do? What do you do to protect the places that have been there for 30 years?
They get the exemption like the chat did.
I don't think the check got an exemption. I think
Everything just built up around. Well, then you build up around those.
I think the reason that them and Benito's, the like sit down restaurant, have stayed there
It's
all
been
this
there.
time.
And King Tut. King Tut's been there
Mhm.
forever.
The only thing I can think of is that they must own the building.
But the problem is, Dustin, is also
That's a
so
good- I
so
don't
the
know.
vacant area
the only thing I
that's
can think of.
there, the vacant area. It's not fair to let a freaking Mikosina just move in by his favorite place to eat, because
No
then it
shade
takes
on
away
Paco's,
business.
but I love Benito's.
Then it takes away from business from the
Which
people that
one?
are the grassroots
The
people.
sit-
Like
the
no
people
on the
know.
border,
Sit
not
down-
all
Have you
that.
tried Pacos?
But
No.
the people know.
We gotta go.
The
Okay.
people that
We gotta
live
go.
there, no.
Not
no,
their chain,
people
I just love
that are
Benito's.
from out of the area come down there to
I
eat
used
at
to like
Benito's.
Benitos until I started eating at Pacos. But that's just.
I want to eat at both now.
My
Yeah,
office is
Actually,
down the street. I'll try.
I'm getting hungry now.
But
We
they're
should go.
along
That'll be good.
along
see what you're saying.
Hemp Hill,
Makes
you've got
sense.
a bunch of like just shitty homes that are boarded up
Mhm.
that were once businesses, whatever. You do have a historical home down there. You've got a Whataburger, you've got a Lisa's Chicken.
That Whataburger can go away. That Whataburger's awful.
I mean, what's the point of having all of these chain restaurants in Fort Worth? I feel like that's basically all of Texas. Not trying to knock chains or anything, but like, what about all the mom and pop places?
I will fight you for that only because when you're down there working on a day-to-day basis
Yep,
and
you
you
want
need a
best
place
food.
for lunch, you need somewhere quick to get into. I can't go
Mhm.
sit down at a mom and pop's place for my 30-minute lunch break.
That's true.
I need to run into In-N-Out. I need to run into Wendy's. I need
mean,
to run into
some of those,
Whataburger.
like, yes, but I think more kind
So-
of how.
That's where
so-
those places make their money is during lunchtime rush, not nighttime.
But when
Yeah.
you have like a McDonald's that is like within like a 3-block radius from another one, or for example, Starbucks, they're like mailboxes. They're freaking everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that? Like,
I have
why
a
not-
problem finding a Starbucks on the south side, except they're the one at 8.
I think the main thing
We
though
don't
is
drink coffee, bro.
the thing.
Yeah.
The thing. I think what needs to happen though is people that are like Aaron, and people that live in the community, and y'all, these type of discussions have to happen, because when you don't have them, then you have investors from different, even different states that come in and take advantage of vacant land in certain areas, and then you lose all control, and then it's anyone's game.
And the
anyone's
other
bet.
argument is, what's wrong with the people that own this property? Say, I'm going to use Benito's, for example, that have owned this
Man,
property
y'all are
for
making me
years
hungry.
and have not made money off of it, and all of a sudden they're coming through and they're going to remodel the street, and they have an opportunity to sell it
Mm-hmm.
and make money.
What's
wrong with
like
that?
a public domain
That's-
type thing?
That's what all of us would love to do if we owned a property, is to be able to hold on to it and then turn it around and sell it at a way higher value than what we bought it for.
I don't think you're right, though. I think some people want a family restaurant, want to keep it in their name for generations
I'm
to
not
come.
talking about those
Well,
people. I'm
because
talking
when
about people that own it.
when you do that, you're going to raise value for everyone
Yeah.
else too. And now the little abuela who's been living just south of Ryan Place for 50 fucking years
Well,
won't be able to pay for property
She doesn't
taxes.
want to go through all the way down there. I thought it was just buried to downtown.
Well, if you do all of Hemp Hill, it's going to affect everything else around
Oh,
Hemp Hill.
yeah, that's true. But
And so, little
Oh, my
Antoinette or whatever, she's not going to be able to afford her property taxes on her fixed income.
Or the rent for the building to be able to put her business into. That's going to be a big problem too. Because even on Magnolia, the rent, I don't know the exact square footage. I mean, you're going to be paying like a minimum $5,000 a month. And that's
Yeah.
substantial when you're starting a business.
And where are we going to move her to? She can't afford to go to the west side where it's cheap and shitty.
well, she
because-
probably doesn't have that many years left in front of her, so we'll just
But her kids will, and
we'll go to
they're
the
probably
we'll go to
hoping
the
inherit that
new.
house.
What's going to happen is we're going to have the
Got
death
Como
council.
Jr. over here now.
The death council.
We'll have
Como
to go to the
Jr..
death council. We'll have to sit down in that what we're going to do.
Death
The
council?
death table and see if she's.
I think
That's the
main
future.
thing, though, is conversation with the community. That these decisions that are getting made out of the community's hands is what's really frustrating people. And from that's the way it sounds like from Aaron.
Absolutely,
Aaron's
and we need someone. And pod called Kettle Black. I don't have time to, but we need someone.
after I just said,
I know,
we need to talk to
but
the
we
community.
need someone out there engaging the community and letting them know that, like, hey, you've been marginalized your entire existence. Your voice can and should matter.
True.
Here's how it will. But then that's how
And we want to make him feel nice.
they run roughshod
And places
over
for
all these
Dustin to
marginalized
eat.
communities, is because my vote doesn't matter. All they care about is every 4 years national election. They don't even care about the.
They want that sticker.
Yes, they did. They want the sticker. They want to say I voted for X president or Y president,
And so they can post it on Instagram and be cool.
or they
Yeah.
just don't give a shit at all. They just want to go back to their daily lives, not realizing that if enough of you people got out and actually voted, you could change, like turn the tide. Like we need someone out there on the streets knocking on doors, saying, "Hey, your voice can and should matter." Absolutely.
Well, and that's the thing that also kind of aggravates me when we deal with when it comes around election time, is like everybody's like, they get so bent out of shape at what's going on in Washington. That's not where it fucking matters.
Who cares?
It matters here.
Man.
Your level is where it matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where things can change.
That's
And
exactly
it can
right,
roll
man.
uphill. And that's what, like you're saying, people don't get that.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Like how has your life changed over the past 8 years between Barry, Trump's, and now Joey Joe?
Nothing.
At all.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It changes where our tax dollars go to, but not like you had a real say in that in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I can't fight any of that. I mean, it's
You can
just
try
gonna
and then have to
happen.
pay it back or go to jail.
yeah, I'll go to prison for it, but it's like if you
That's a joke.
haven't
That's
this
a
is
joke.
the this goes back to the thing we talked about months ago. David Letterman does that that deal on Netflix, My Next Guest.
Yeah.
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 He did the one with Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle says in there, he's like, everything that matters is right here in the
Mhm.
community. It doesn't matter what's going on in Washington. It doesn't matter what they're dealing with. We have to take care of things right here
That's
in
kind
our
of the way
own
Killer
yard.
Mike. That's kind of the way Killer Mike is too. It's like take care of
Yeah.
your place. Like stop worrying about these elitist.
Take care of your
take care of your
area,
own.
career
your place,
politicians.
and
Take
make
care of
sure
your yard.
things are
Yeah,
right, because that's where
It's true.
it matters.
You can stay grassroots and not promote and not raise funds and go and kick down all those doors and all those apartments in LVT,
Mm-hmm.
and you could win this race.
Don't kick them though. I don't know why
don't
I
kick
said
I
that.
can't kick them.
No,
Okay,
don't kick them.
okay.
Knock on the doors.
Okay.
That could be
Not.
castle law.
Yeah, that might
We
get
could
in
have some
trouble.
issues.
True, especially on the west side. But you could win this race solely on that alone. Tanglewood, because Crane lives in Tanglewood.
Yes.
I doubt he's ever spent any time on highway. I doubt he calls it Highway 80. We call it Highway 80.
Yeah.
When I know a carpetbagger from a West Sider when they call it Highway 80 West or Cambui West.
Yeah.
You don't
I'm
think he's
always
ever
like,
been to
where?
Illusions?
Yeah.
You spent some time in Illusion?
My wife called it Cambui West one time, and she got a stern talking to. Like, you're a local now. It's Highway 80.
Yeah.
Cambui ends at what? At the fork?
820. Well, a real Cambui ends at the traffic circle. Yeah, Altamir.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah.
And
So-
then it should be Highway 80.
I always call it. I mean, just slang is that it ends when 80 forks off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's where my Cambui ends.
So we're
right there
starting
around
to-
Irene Street and
We're
all
getting
that.
low on time. So, what are some other big things you want to see, or have we skipped anything that you want to bring up?
Yeah, but yeah. So in the West Side, we don't have a 24-hour center for the youth,
Yeah, the recreation center.
a crisis center. That's something that I really, whether I win this or I don't, if I don't win this, I'm going to start my own foundation. And I'm going to make that
Yeah,
happen.
I like the sounds of that for sure.
But if I do win it, I mean, there's funds that can be made available. There's buildings that are 100% available in the West Side to be able to have a 24-hour youth crisis center. Another thing with that is there's a lot of cities that have already implemented free Wi-Fi for kids, K through 12, especially right now during the pandemic, even with the mask mandate being lifted. That's something I think is really crucial for low-income neighborhoods. A lot of kids are having to do their homework outside of school, outside of restaurants with free Wi-Fi, sitting outside on the curb, doing their homework, or just not doing it at all.
The district gives out hotspots.
They do?
Mhm.
Which ones?
Fourth
Worth-
ISD.
Which hotspots?
Verizon hotspots.
Okay.
And Google Chromebook deals. We had a homeless kid with us in the fall.
Because AT&T wants nothing to do with that shit.
AT&T
Probably.
doesn't. See, I know Charter Spectrum also can do citywide. So that's what I want to enable more than just, you know what I mean, than these little, like it needs to be available to
Yeah.
not just my district, the whole city of Fort Worth, which is
Maybe-
plausible through advertising. Every time you go to click on to log on,
Yeah.
so many minutes or whatever, you watch a 30-second, 1-minute advertisement. Get
Well,
that
soon
going.
Elon Musk will have the whole
With 5G.
Skynet.
the
Actually,
Skynet.
Invitations went out for that this past week.
Skylink.
Bullshit.
Starlink.
I'm signed up, and
It's
I
not
didn't get my
Skynet.
invite.
It's Starlink, isn't it?
It's very limited. The beta testers are going out. We had 2 of my guys at work
Oh,
get them.
wow.
Is it because they work in the
Wow.
industry, or
No,
doesn't have anything to
they
do
just signed up to see if they could get it.
I didn't get it because of my
They
last
got an invite.
name.
Probably.
Well,
Did you put where you were born on the
Oh, no.
application to
I
get
put
it?
my zip code in. No,
No,
not for you.
Not for you. You'll get it eventually.
yeah.
But yeah, that's the invites are going out for Starlink.
Oh, wow. I'm looking at that too.
It's pretty cool.
Starlink.
That'd be amazing if you pulled that power move. You'd get a lot of exposure to put a Skylink. Elon Musk,
Yeah.
Or
Puts a
the
Skylink.
community center.
a satellite
Powered by
right
Starlink.
over
Yeah.
west side.
Yeah. That's some great ideas.
Oh, bring moon towers back. There you go.
Your
Thinking Austin?
yeah, your fascination with moon towers. I
What
mean,
is a moon tower?
Yeah, what's Moon Tower?
so in Austin,
Oh, Texas history.
yeah, they back turn of the century, they built these light standards all over Austin.
Okay.
They go anywhere from 30, 40, 50 foot high, and they have a bunch of lights on them that shine down and out. And it made it seem like there was always a moon in the sky. But it was to help keep crime down,
Oh.
people from being attacked.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They're still, I think there was, at one time, there's 30 something and now there's like 8,
Yeah.
6 to 8 of them.
So
still
they
in
started out with
existence.
30, and now they have 8. But
Yeah,
they
they've
were
torn them down because you don't need them anymore.
Oh,
But
really?
this was back in the
Downtown's
time
huge.
when everything was.
before cell phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these were built at the turn of the century of
Have you seen Dazed and
19
Confused?
Y2K.
Uh-huh.
18th century.
Yeah.
Party at the Moon Tower. That's what that is.
Oh,
That's the one in
okay.
Zilker Park.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
West Side of Fort Worth could use that immensely.
That
Yeah.
would be
A lot of
awesome.
lighting, they
Lighting
put off
changes a
of light.
lot.
Yeah, that's in the
A lot-
infrastructure plans.
Yeah, lighting changes the attitude on criminals
Yeah.
I believe it.
a lot.
I believe it.
And it makes it not.
I mean, Matt
Where
won't
you
break
could
into
see.
people's houses that have lots
Right.
of lighting. So
A lot of light.
Yeah, I try not to break into people's houses if it's daylight or if there's light.
What
That's
about
the best time.
dogs?
Even if it's a full moon, I try not to break into people's houses.
Best time right there.
What about dogs? I have a big dog.
No way. I don't mess
Good,
with dogs.
good.
steaks.
Now, if there's a steak in there,
No, I throw a
I'll
steak
break-
to the dog.
see, that's the problem.
in
I'd
every
throw the
movie.
steak and then I'd get hungry and be like, man, I'm
should've
here
kept
breaking
that.
into
Should've
this place. I
kept
should
the
have kept
steak.
No, give me that back. And then I'll get bit by the dog trying to get the steak back.
But yeah, it's a cool thing they did. If you look up, there's a whole history of them. I mean, people
The moonlight.
have researched the Moon Tower in Austin, Moon Towers, and then there's a whole thing about a murderer.
That's
Jack
what
the
I was
Ripper?
gonna ask. It's Jack
They-
the Ripper
was
type,
Jack
but
the
I
Ripper.
thought they were like blue lights that they had
They
put
thought
up
they
all over
were.
the town.
Well, they were. I can't remember what
There was a
type of
rumor that
lights they
he-
were.
Wasn't
but
there
they
a rumor
were
that he
blue.
had moved to Austin?
He had moved to Austin because a bunch of murders were happening,
I think there's
and
a-
they started
I
putting
think there's
up
a Jack the Ripper show, like
lights.
documentary
Moon
right
Towers.
now on
There is-
Netflix.
It's called The Ripper.
Yeah.
I thought
Is that
it
what
was,
it's about, Jack the Ripper?
I thought it was like a different timeline. I don't know. I was a little drunk when I was watching it, and
Mhm.
also decleaning my house and not paying attention.
I like cleaning my
um,
house when I'm drunk.
It makes it a lot more
That is
fun.
the bottom of my list.
Well, obvious. No. Can we mention that, by the way?
Oh, I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Can we? Yeah,
Yeah.
we. She's also with child people that are listening to us. She's doing all this work.
Congratulations.
Thank
She
you.
is
I have a
attacking
3-year-old at home. as
Right.
well.
So it's not like this is just some hipster that decided she was going to try to take on the elite
Ooh, hipster.
investor.
She's one of us.
She's one of us.
I
She's
know.
down here with the rest of us, like Social Distortion would say. Mike Ness would say, down
Social
here with the
D.
rest of us.
I lied. They're
Uh-oh.
165 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And have a
Yeah,
15-foot
I thought
foundation.
That was like
Wow.
a small
Can't
light
trust
that
the
you
word
were
you say.
saying,
I
but-
can't. A single tower casts light from 6
They're
carbon
really cool,
arc
though.
lamps,
Yeah.
Next time you go
illuminating
down,
a
you should check 'em out.
1,500
I didn't know
foot
that's what they were
radius
called.
circle,
I thought they were just like
brightly
LED
enough to
lights.
read a watch under.
Wow. I wonder if they're solar powered now or.
I don't
They
think
should be.
they are.
We get a lot of
The
sun
ones you
here.
put in West
Yeah.
Side could be.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But
That's
they-
true.
I mean, they're it's a pretty badass idea. There's
It is a good
13
idea.
surviving. There were a total of what does it say?
Well, tell
I don't
Adler to
remember.
fix the rest.
Well, they tore them down. A lot of them were torn down just because of where they were.
So I think, wasn't there a rumor or
We're stopping by some when we go down there.
is this a QAnon thing that everybody was saying that China was trying to put a fake moon up for that? Like they're trying to put a moon up over China. I swear I heard this. This is not just some weird pot dream.
No, there was a whole.
Like, there was
they
some-
wanted to
they
put
wanted to put
a
some kind of
simulated
Moon.
moon and sun
Se-
because of the pollution.
Yeah. This was before
You know
COVID
they
now.
have simulated billboards all over China now that
That's
simulate
so Blade Runner.
sunrise and sunset.
That's so Blade Runner.
You can see it everywhere, like because there's so much smog.
Oh,
They want to be able to
wow.
see a
Wouldn't
sun.
The solution
That's
just
terrifying.
be to fix it? I mean, it's really cool that technology can go in that direction, but shouldn't you work on fixing?
Either let's
That's-
fix it or let's just
You-
bubble
okay.
everything up. Let's just
Uh-huh.
go
So you can't
either
tell
way.
China to do anything. I'm sorry.
I
They
mean,
play
are
by
they
their
just-
own
Are they
rules.
just trying to like murder
I'm
people
sure.
with all the
I'm sure
smog
the
so they
people
can't
there would
breathe?
really like things cleaned up, but
Yeah.
you have a total communist party
That's
that
throttling
does
the
things their
community.
own way,
Yeah.
and
In an
mean,
old
have control over their
civilization
people.
with a lot of people.
I get that. I just can't get over how selfish people are, and that just like really
Yeah.
like throws me off. And
Yeah.
a good
their
trait
way
to
of
hang
life.
on to, though. Don't lose that. You know what I mean? A lot of people just go through life, and they're some of the most evil shit I saw was during the Ice-Mageddon. The
Mhm.
way people were treating people. I went to one store in South Arlington to get food for my parents, And just the way that people were treating the actual, just the worker, the bag guys and stuff, and the guys that were, there was this poor old lady that was going and just getting shopping carts because people were just ditching them out there when they got their stuff and getting in their cars and getting out. So this poor lady, I went in, couldn't find a buggy. So I went back out to look for one to see this lady, shop buggy. Yeah, whatever.
I call them buggies too.
Yeah.
Please tell me you put a nice old lady in the buggy and pushed her around the store.
I did.
Please.
I did. No, I jerked it from her. I was like, go get some more. But anyway.
Go be young.
No, but it was funny. I go, hey, I'll give you a deal. I'll help you push these in if you let me have one of them. And as soon as I did that, like all these other people just came up and just.
Taking the
I was
carts.
Like, yeah, I was like, okay. And then there was a mask incident right in front of me. I'm like, good gosh, do we have to have this argument with someone that is checking people out and a kid that's bagging groceries? Do we have to stand on that hill right now?
Mm-hmm.
Can we not can you just go home and do that on Facebook? We don't have time for that here. And it was just like the yucky stuff you saw. But then
Arlington must be disgruntled. We were all happy around here helping each other out.
I was going to say that too. I also saw some of
Yeah.
that too, the good side. There was also the good side where people were helping people out and joking around and stuff like that. And
a guy rolled his
someone was like,
rode
morning
his
ladies.
snowmobile
Some
up
guy
to the grocery
some
store.
guy told me a joke
nice.
about fish market and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So there was
that's
some of that good
how
stuff.
The world works. You put out light and you get it back. That's how you make a good community.
Not anymore because we have
and that's
these now.
just what kind of throws me
And
off
moon
too,
towers.
with Texas being such a large. What's the percentage? At least 50% are Christian. So that's what I don't understand.
I don't know.
Where that gap is.
You think 50% of
I
the
actually just recently
population
looked up.
here
I think it's
is
Google said it was 53%.
Claim.
yeah.
Claim.
Claim that that's
they're
their
Christian. So that's just what throws me off, and I'm not trying to
There's a
diss
lot of
anyone.
Catholics in Texas
I
though.
just don't understand
Yeah.
where
Catholicism.
They're
in Texas.
still a
That's what
Christian
it
religion
is.
because they're based on Jesus.
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 Yeah, I don't. You're right. I mean, you would think that if there was that many people that were claiming to be religious, then they would have compassion and.
But the
that's
thing
part of
is, the claim.
The claim, right. Right.
They're even scripturally speaking, there's very little follow through on the claim of faith. But it's the claim because people want to claim to be a good person and claim to be a whatever, and they feared the idea of hell that they may or may not believe in, so they'll claim onto it in hopes of.
It's kind of like the prisoner that always finds God when he's on death row and or in prison. All of a sudden, he's a religious person.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
It's like, Jeffrey Dahmer's a Christian. Was a Christian.
He claimed that before he got killed.
I mean,
So
good
he's
for
not in
him
hell?
for finding some sort of higher power and faith, and maybe fixing his
Sounds like a whole show.
spiritual maladies and demons. But I just that's me. I just really
You're starting to scare us because you're starting to think too much for yourself. That's what the world thinks. That's what the world thinks, though. You don't use your brain. Don't be here's your cell phone. Don't use your brain. That's what the problem is.
I don't know. I've studied a lot of religion and things like that. I converted to Judaism, and that was a huge thing for me.
Krav Maga, they're making sense now. Okay.
Actually, my sister forced me to take it when I moved to San Francisco.
Are you still taking it?
No.
You should. There's a good place in Saginaw.
I just
A good place in Saginaw.
The good place in Saginaw.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I have all the time in the world now. I'm unemployed. And
No, you're not. You're a campaign manager.
She's a current graduate. So
Yeah, I
she's
just
about to
graduated
start a
esthetician
new,
school.
Awesome.
Yeah.
a new leaf.
I have a lot of side hustles.
Yeah.
I'm always busy. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been great. You're our first politician we've ever had. Looks
Really?
like. What, you got more?
I got one more thing I want to touch on before we leave it's a different subject altogether.
Good, because I have a couple rebuttals here to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I have one more thing to
It's just
add
halftime.
as well.
So the
I'm
candidate
gonna
should
go
add her one
to
more
the
thing
bathroom
first.
though.
Okay, you go first, then
Okay.
you two, then I'm going to change the subject and talk about something else before we end the show.
Okay, so the last thing I wanted to touch base on was back to the youth, but this is more broad. So recreational areas in the west side, non-existent.
You know what? I was noticing this the other day.
Yeah.
Parks,
Uh-huh.
hard to find.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
One.
Yeah.
You have, isn't there an empty municipal golf course in the middle of your district?
Yes, we have one on, is it It's right by Ridgemar Mall.
Boaz.
Lackland.
Well, part of it is now Z-Bone's dog park, but it's a very small part of it.
So that's they took a golf course that was, I believe it was free to play on.
It was municipal.
It's municipal.
And
20
they
bucks,
took
$8
it away and put a dog park, which is great. I have a dog too. So
what'd they do with the rest of the land? That's huge.
It's
just sitting there
it's
behind
just sitting
bricks.
there. And they took away the basketball goals for the kids in the West Side because they said it was a place where crime is going to congregated crime.
True.
That was. Is
Then
it or is it
patrol it.
not? Because we have multiple basketball. Exactly. What are the cops doing? Get them out of their car. If you want cops over there.
True.
If that's their problem.
Patrol it.
Get
Easy.
the cops, the police officers. First off, do they know anybody? How can you meet people if you're in your car all day driving around waiting for them to do something bad? I don't understand that. But the fact that you have by Trinity River, you have a basketball court that just got repainted to make it more friendly or whatever the hell they were thinking. But then they're going to take basketball courts, goals, whatever, away from, low income kids. That is their only available way to be able to get out, to be able to see their friends, and possibly to even make it a career choice. Whatever they want to do. But
you're going to take those away and also then bitch about kids being overweight.
Or kids just getting into crime. I mean, like when you start taking away that, there's no soccer goals. They have so much areas to where we could easily convert an area into a place for sports, congregation.
That giant
Friday
golf
on the
course.
We have Friday on the Green. Why can't we do something like that in the West Side? Music is huge everywhere. Why can't
Now
we
we're
have
talking.
food trucks coming out there? Why can't we have mentorships coming out there? Drives,
I'm
getting
on
these
this
kids involved in the community. That's a big issue I have with the West Side. We didn't have that when I was growing up. So when I was growing up, what could I do? Get on my bike and ride around. Hopefully I don't get kidnapped. Hopefully I don't get into crime, like meet the wrong kind of kids. Whatever, don't get hit by a car because there's no bike lanes either. So you could go all the way up to Binbrook Park, I guess, when I was growing up, and Robot Park, and thank you, and play
Castle Park technically.
Yeah, but once you get in high school, I mean, like.
And then you have Zebo's, the disc golf course.
Right. Yeah.
Right on the edge.
You don't want to play there.
I play there all the time. It's fun.
Remember as a kid?
Oh yeah, as a kid.
Because I used to go swimming in that creek. You don't want to play there as a kid.
Yeah, Mary's Creek. Yeah, that's where I used to swim too, or like play. So even over there, you mentioned that park, right? Go drive back there. There's a road that's crumbling. You can't even. I mean, you can get through, but I don't, recommend you driving all the way through to the other side to go from Winscott to Highway 377. You can't get there. So like all our parks are failing. They're taking away even basketball goals. They're not putting up anything so you can play tennis. You can learn soccer. We don't have anything like that.
And they tore down, like y'all brought up earlier, the whole Lockheed Recreation Center area is now the
it's a
REI.
REI and Whole Foods, but there's also still like a pay-to-play kind of thing there for like softball. I used to play softball there and like sand volleyball. But for even when it was Lockheed LMRA, it wasn't open to me.
No, you have to be a
member.
Family, yeah.
But they did open it like once a month to.
There's no public swimming. There's nothing. I mean.
Oh, once a month. Thank you for your kindness, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Is it?
And you know what? There's no real. Besides the Trinity Trails, there's no real park area even in the that new area they've all built up with the Neiman Marcus and all that.
Oh, Clear Fork. Oh,
Clear Fork.
We haven't even talked about Clear Fork. So Clear Fork's going to come through. Edwards Ranch family, they're going to come through, and this is their plan for Como. So they're going to kick everybody out of Como, and they're going to extend Clear Fork all the way from downtown down through Como, and then they're going to go up through Hemphill.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Clear Fork, Edwards Ranch, whole incentive. So
they own all that land.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Are you finished?
Yep.
Okay. So that gets me to my points.
You're not going to do the Trump Biden debate where you just start just yelling at each other?
No, because I'm not running against her. I'm not her adversary.
Oh, that's true. Man, you should run against her.
I don't really
know.
Actually, y'all should team up. Y'all can take over that area.
I don't have time to. Talk to me after I graduate.
That.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after I graduate.
Where are you at school at currently?
You guys got
Tarleton.
and stuff.
Charlton?
Yeah.
What are you going to school for?
General studies. I just said, get me out as fast as you can.
Are you in your associates or bachelor's?
Bachelor's.
Okay,
So I'm going to
right
school
on.
full time, and I'm working full time. We have a baby, and I don't sleep.
Yeah.
And I think I'm failing all my
Do you
classes.
still bartend
And you
at
try to
Fortress
play
Fest?
No.
At the VIP
Well,
lounge?
If that came up again, absolutely.
I don't think we're going to get invited again. So.
Those
No, we will.
Fortress Fest artists tipped very well.
So did we.
Fortress
So
says
did y'all.
podcasters that just showed up.
I
did
just wish
not-
I remembered it.
Mhm.
I wish I remembered it.
Anyways, and so
We
the Como
tip.
thing.
Mhm.
You said that Como hasn't changed in the past 20 years.
I mean, they.
If you drive, it has. It's changed. There's a lot of houses that have been rebuilt and built up, and some of them have been rebuilt by the homeowner.
I mean, more a part of what the city controls. The
No, the
streets,
city's not doing a damn thing.
They're
out
not
there.
doing a damn thing over there.
Because the houses that have been rebuilt by locals.
They've done a little bit of cleanup around the lake, but
Very little. And-
very little. But they haven't
There's
done
actually
anything really with
60.
streets.
There was 66 lots for sale. So
And they're still not even that. Those lots aren't even very affordable because we looked at it.
yeah.
So I try to give my mom a Habitat for Humanity house, and
Uh-huh.
one of their neighborhoods is Como,
Oh, nice.
and I wanted to do that because I know the Edwards expansion plan,
Yeah.
and I was like, when she's gone, it'll be my property, and I will flip that in a second.
Well, wait a second. We just had an argument about this about Hemp Hill.
Yeah,
So you're looking to make money.
I was.
Okay.
Didn't
So,
work
okay.
out.
Okay. So okay. Interesting.
Didn't work out.
All right.
I'm not a politician. I can't speak out of both sides of my mouth.
Yeah. All right.
LBT and Highway 80 hasn't changed, and you're right, it hasn't. There's not that many fast food restaurants down there from what there used to be.
Yeah.
Where'd you
When Taco Bueno's closed.
On Camp Bowie West?
Yeah, you have
There's
Sonic
a lot of Taco Buenos that are
and Jack in the
closing,
Box
man.
and Burger
I
Street,
love Taco
Captain
Bueno,
D's
too.
and Lisa's.
You have Taco Casa.
Brahms.
My
Taco
favorite.
Casa and Brahms.
Shout out.
Where's my McDonald's?
Mickey D's?
No, your McDonald's used to be up there by the.
You have
The
Camp-
clinic.
CVS. CVS used to be my McDonald's.
Well, I thought right there north of 30 was a McDonald's. Right there.
It was a
next to the
McDonald's Chevron.
abortion clinic.
There's one on Camp Bowie towards Ridgely.
Which ain't on LBT.
Yeah. No.
But did they close that one?
Oh,
Yeah, the
wait.
Chevron's gone.
There's
Oh, okay.
I thought there was a McDonald's in the gas station. One of the gas stations.
Gone.
It left.
That's the one he's talking
That's
about.
what I'm
Okay,
talking about.
okay.
Across
Because
from the Waffle House, which
Yeah,
is now
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
I
Waffle
don't-
House is gone too.
COVID took that one out.
Damn.
That might have been needed. I'm just kidding. That,
Oh, I love that Waffle
It was.
House.
You have to be on what level of drunkenness though?
I used to go there for breakfast, but I mean, I've been there my entire life.
The problem with that
No, I
McDonald's
love.
was
They're all stars.
Mhm.
Yeah.
you'd be in the drive-through
Absolutely.
for breakfast, and there would be people out there protesting the abortion clinic with
Yeah.
all sorts
Right
of
across
photos.
the street.
And
Yeah.
you'd be like, God damn it, I want to eat.
That's true.
Oh, shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
The LBT Rise issue. So they're a nonprofit, and he's raising money. So right now they're only open until 6.
Mhm.
He applied for that CCP grant so that they could be open until 8 to have staff there to try and keep it safe. And he's trying to raise $5 million in the next 5 years, and he's halfway there. And the questions from our committee was that they don't think he can do it.
Mhm.
I'm part of another nonprofit in Fort Worth. There's plenty of white guilt money to fund LBT Rise, and he's working on it. And
Have
he'll
you heard
get
of
there.
Build a Better Hood?
No.
Okay. That's where Brian Bird got his ideology for LVT Rise from. He took it from that man, Abdul Chappelle, and put it into LVT Rise.
Chappelle, you say? No, I haven't. I'll look that up though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's what all the packs are about, building better right now.
he's
Yeah.
trying. They're trying and they're doing it. So what he was asking for the funding from CCP to hire a security guard full time because he has
Is China in
donors.
everything?
He has donor. He's had a donor get robbed on his way into LBT Rise during the daytime.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
It's not if you hang out on Calmont ever.
No, I
Yeah.
get
Like-
it, but still,
Yeah.
it's like, come on.
He's had a staff member, so it's him, an assistant, and a secretary. He's had a secretary been held up on her way out of work. So he wants someone there until at least 8, so the community center can be open and people can feel safe getting there. But he's playing a long game, and I hope he can succeed because he's the only one trying to do something positive over there.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish the center were closer to LBT,
Yeah.
but Calmont is also a big issue.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What they're trying to do right now in Hemp Hill and gentrify all that, they have the same plans on the west side.
Yeah.
And that's what I brought up to Dr. Bird. My mom lives in a 800 square foot shithole apartment
Mhm.
a block away from me on the west side on the other Normandale because that's all she could afford.
Normandale. I couldn't remember the name of the street.
There's
earlier.
4 Normandales.
Yeah.
And that's all she could afford.
Mhm.
And it sucks. And she's paying over $1,000 a month for a 1-1
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
because I couldn't get her into the income based housing because where's she going to be for the year and a half she waits?
And then you have a lot of apartments that won't even look at your application if you have Section 8. And that's something that, I mean, I can't relate.
Or if you go, because I went with her to Broadmoor, 2900 Broadmoor with
Mhm.
Section 8. Beautiful apartment. It's huge. It's the one behind the post office.
Mm-hmm.
The staff there is, we showed up 2 hours before they closed.
Mm-hmm.
She was on her phone on a personal call, and so I had to go into her office and say, hello, I got to go. People are here. And then she comes, I can't help you. I have an hour left before I leave.
Oh, wow.
You have an hour before you leave.
Yeah.
An hour.
You can accomplish a lot
Yeah.
in those 60
Absolutely.
minutes. No shade.
And so if you look like on the reviews for 2900 Broadmoor, you will find her name and all the negative reviews about that employee
Oh, wow.
who is still employed there and not helping the community at all. But
Is
so
her
I,
name Maggie?
it's not.
Okay.
So I asked Bert, I was like, my mom lives, so he had no idea what rent was in his district.
Of course not.
And I was like, now I because of my wife's job, I know the plans y'all have for this side of town, starting from Montserrat Junior, Monterey, and you're going
Mhm.
to work west to east. What are you going to do about affordable housing this side of town?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, what would you do about affordable housing that side of town, knowing that the Montserrat people are already expanding and they're going to go from Maggie's Italian food and start working their way back east?
Yeah. So, some key things for affordable housing that I've currently come up with. This is still an evolving plan, of course. Is to repurpose current buildings for housing and give an incentive to developers and builders. I think that might be able to. The incentives, of course, would have to be affordable housing. You're not going to come in here and push the people that have lived here their whole lives out. Another thing is new home buying incentives. So if you look at Chicago, they have a bunch of property and they have a lot of incentives for new home buyers and a lot of incentives for developers to come in and repurpose abandoned buildings. And that's something the west side we're a concrete jungle. We have a lot of land on Highway 80, past 820. But other than that, we have a lot of buildings that are being unused and neglected. Another thing is, so like the available lots that we do have, you have to get lot incentives for the developers. And with that, you have to put in there about the rental, the crisis, and you have to, when they're signing up for it, there's got to be an agreement. You can write anything into any contracts. And that is what the city developers are not wanting. They're not wanting to get developers in here that are going to make it easier for the current residents. They're trying to just get whoever they can get in here to get their future plans complete. So that's something I'm looking at too, is what have other cities done that have had this problem? Because we're going to end up turning out like California, to where no one's going to be able to afford to live in Fort Worth. So that's currently my current plans on trying to figure out the affordable housing. I think the main issue is $7.25 minimum wage. You got to tackle that issue too. And you have government officials saying, if we raise the minimum wage to a livable wage, you're going to kill a lot of small businesses. Why do we have so many small businesses that aren't paying people a livable wage? It's just costing everybody more and more money. The more people you have to get on government assistance, that's coming from the taxpayers. So it's a whole system of I'm going to say excuses, and you have officials that will throw out false assumptions, like the whole, not trying to bring this to voters, but the reason you can't register to vote online is because they said voter fraud. Why do we have so many other states that have done it no problem, and it's cheaper? So it's a lot of bullshit, in my opinion, that needs to just be tackled right then and there. So
And then my last point is the parks.
uh-huh.
And as the parks take money across the street. So the empty lot you talked about on Normandale, behind the gas station, behind the apartment complex,
Mm-hmm.
come over. I'm on the cul-de-sac right in front of that.
I've been to your house.
Oh yes, yes you have.
Yes.
Just me. I have.
He hasn't been to your
Come
house.
over. Come over tonight. We'll snuggle.
Okay. Sounds good.
I've been over your house, hung out.
Men
All good.
snuggly.
So pre-COVID, they were planning on putting a park there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and so we went to the city meeting, and our what do they call it? So like our local cop, like the cop on our beat, the people at the meeting knew him. I'd never met the man, but the people at the park, like in the meeting, knew him. He knew all the trouble spots. I don't know why they're not just parked at the trouble spots, like the corner of LVT and Normandale, where
Right.
it's a killing zone. It's literally the execution zone. But whatever. So they were planning on putting a park there,
Mhm.
and they had a set budget. My wife does landscape architecture. She knows what things cost, and she designs them. And she told them straight up, yeah, that all the things you're promising us, this doesn't cover. This covers a tenth of that.
Yeah.
And then COVID slowed everything down, and now we're still waiting on the ground to break. So they're working on a park, and then there's a park over by Birchman. But you're right, we have nothing else.
There's nothing else. Even if you go more up Camp Bowie towards
Nothing.
30, and even
Mhm.
crossing over 30, there's nothing around there
Mm-mm.
except maybe parks that are connected to schools.
Yeah.
And
You
so
know, the
when
fields connected to
when kids
schools.
go like play basketball,
Mm-hmm.
they'll go to Leonard,
Yeah.
where they have the hoops up and they have the baskets up. But yeah, I mean, there's nowhere else for them now. My wife and I, who were expecting child, were the only ones who wanted the park. That's the other thing, is that the people who attend those meetings aren't the apartment residents; they're the homeowners that live in the actual houses, who wanted no part of a park by their house.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the kids showing up. They don't want the crime showing up. They don't want a bench for the homeless guy. There's a guy that lives in that field. Real nice guy. I think his name is Jerry. They don't want him sleeping in the park.
But yet he still sleeps there anyway right now.
Mm-hmm. And so part of the problem also with that is that the residents don't want it because they all their kids are gone. They're all empty nesters.
Yeah.
So I mean, that sounds super morbid. We're waiting for like 3 houses on our block on our cul-de-sac to open up.
Hey, that's how I was on my street.
And we're just like,
And finally, young people started moving in when all the old people started moving out or
And-
dying.
and I think that's part of the reason that we don't have those public spaces for the kids.
Mhm.
And there's so many kids in those apartment complexes because the people who voice their opinions, who the city cares about, actively don't want any of those spaces in their neighborhoods. That's why I think the grassroots, the door knocking, the going to the apartment complexes matters so much.
Yeah.
There was a kid when I was still at the apartment complex, knocking doors for Bernie. And he nice kid, and he looked beaten down. I went and I apologized to him, and he kind of like, he kind of flinched when I went over. I was like, "Hey, like I'm a Bernie bro, like you're good." And I was like, "How's it going?" And so expect this: like, I'm getting a lot of slam doors
Yeah.
as soon as I say what I'm here for. But like, if someone does open the door and talks to me, they're super grateful that I'm actually showing up to talk to them.
Okay.
So there are those people there, and
Yeah.
thankfully for municipal politics, you don't have to run under a party.
Yeah.
Because the Republican dream is still true on the West Side, where I may not be rich now, but I may be rich one day.
True.
That's
One
true.
day,
You never know.
I won't be. It's fine. I'm brown.
You could. You
My
could,
son might be.
You could. One of y'all could write a record and get picked up. Your dreams of being a hip hop artist.
You're
I
at
don't have that.
Tarleton. What's your plans for after Tarleton?
I want to teach
Teacher?
at Hills. I want to go back to.
Western Hills?
I mean,
The roots.
my wife is from Denton, and she knew that my heart is on the West Side of Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And she knew I wasn't going to leave it, so she bought the house before we got married, and she bought it across the street from my apartment complex.
Damn.
Oh,
Didn't.
wow. Wow.
She's I don't deserve her.
Oh.
No,
I'm a nice
get it. You
guy.
gotta get it.
I'm a shitbird. She is a saint,
Oh
and I
my
hope that
gosh,
baby
I
takes
love
after
that.
her. But she knew that that's where my heart is.
Yeah.
And she knows that, like, right now, being so bogged down with school and work
Yeah.
and house, like, I would love to be out there knocking
You
doors
just don't have the time.
for you.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I wish the election were next year.
Yeah. Me too. I wouldn't be pregnant, so that would be great.
And if you
Wow.
knocked the door with a baby on your hip,
Yeah.
people would open the door for you.
True.
You can borrow
Yeah?
our baby. He's already had COVID, so he's safe.
Should I take my son, my 3-year-old, with me?
Take my 7-month because you can actually hold him.
So I'll have your kid, my kid,
Yeah.
my dog. I'll bring my dog too. We'll
For
all be
sure,
out
dog.
there.
Well, no. This sounds very. People on the west side of town are scared of dogs.
I was just after I said bring my dog, so many things just rushed. Like maybe she's a German Shepherd, so maybe not.
Yeah, no.
For sure. I have a Great Pyrenees, and people don't talk to us.
Oh,
They're
baby,
so sweet, but
They are.
so
They're massive.
big. Yeah,
stubborn.
Huge.
beautiful
If they are
dogs.
not, y'all don't have a connection.
Oh, my dog listens.
I dog
does.
sit for a Great Pyrenees, and he really loves children, and like will force me to sit in a park for like 2 hours straight, and I can't budge him, and I'm just like, this is creepy.
We
Can we go to?
For the Game of Thrones fans, we reeked our dog. My dog sits, he comes, he goes on command.
Really?
Which is against everything I've read about that breed.
I mean, but it might be too like y'all's like relationship, because the relationship that he has with his owner
yeah.
100% different. It's just that he sees me as a little bitch that he loves, and he's like, I'm not gonna listen to you. I want to sit in this park and get pets all day from little kids and play around with them. And
The Facebook groups all say
Yeah.
that those dogs just don't listen. But my backyard is destroyed.
Oh
they,
yeah.
they
Destroyed.
make active choices. They listen, but they make active choices to say, F you, I'm not doing that. That's not my plan for the day.
Teddy
This is my
actively
plan."
chooses to go to his kennel when I say go to your kennel.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
And I don't beat him.
Well, that's
Oh,
good.
that's good.
I'm just
good.
stern,
That's good. Stern, but fair.
but fair.
Yes.
Just. I'm a just lord.
Well, this has been a fun conversation.
Yeah.
The whole night has been. It's been interesting. One last thing I wanted to bring up before we sign off, because I only think we need to do it in a timely circumstance, is because Matt, you lost a coworker on Saturday. An old coworker.
Yeah, I didn't work with him very much.
Were you allowed to look at him?
Russ Martin?
Yeah.
You were. You were.
I was allowed to look at him.
That mandate hadn't come down when you worked there to not look at him in the eyes.
No, and he bolted shortly after I was on there. He went.
He got scared of you.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
like,
it was.
He's like,
Yeah.
that guy with
this
blue
guy's
hair. I'm
The
scared.
jujitsu.
He's gonna take over the media market. Yeah, so that sucked though.
That was freaking out of control.
Yeah,
Like shocking to
yeah, a
hear
lot
that.
of people
but
are
then,
upset about it.
I don't know.
You brought it up, and she mentioned his
Way
name.
to bring it-
Like he's a
make
huge.
it dark.
Like he's a huge deal here.
Yeah,
He is
Russ
huge,
Martin.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so I listened to him when I was a kid on Y95, and he used to have a
Yeah.
show called Hot Tickets. That was like an entertainment TV show,
Mhm.
30 minutes, whatever. Him and JD Ryan would goof around, and they'd go to different places. They'd go to Six Flags during Fright Fest, or they'd go out to some nudist colony out in the middle of nowhere, and just they were all over North Texas doing this crazy stuff.
Sounds like a
and reporting
podcast
on
I
it.
know.
Kind of does. But they were doing all this crazy trips and stuff and checking all this stuff out. Now it was really cool and
Yeah.
entertaining, and they all seemed like funny dudes. And then as I got older and found out, well, to me, at some point he stopped being funny and just started being like hateful, mean
I think he
with
just.
his show.
I think he just did.
Like it just. I stopped listening. I mean, he got into a fight with Stern, and I was like, "Why are you getting in a fight with Howard Stern? You don't weigh.
Mm.
Your clout here in DFW is not the clout across the country that Howard Stern has. Okay, so that's a dumb fight to get in. And
But if I fight you, I can get my clout off you because local nobody fighting with Howard Stern. Who's this local nobody?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why.
that's why.
That's
But
why he
it was
got into
still,
it with Reiner.
Yeah, true. It was just annoying, and yeah, I don't know. I wasn't I after the Y95 and early Eagle years, I got turned off by him.
No, I followed him around from Eagle Afternoons to when he replaced Howard Stern to 105.3 back to the Eagle. I mean, I was a Howard Stern. I was a Russ Martin P1 for a long time.
Over the hard line?
I hated the ticket until 2011.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Once the Rangers lost the World Series and everyone just kept talking about the nut kick that was Game 6,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. And the hard line was talking about Sons of Anarchy. And no, Bad Radio was. And I was like, I like Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. And then I became fully indoctrinated.
Fully sucked in. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was weird. I didn't know he hadn't done his show in 2 years
Me neither.
because I don't listen to him. But that was shocking in that, he had a bunch of demons and issues. It's weird that they expected or they suspect no foul play, but they want there's an ongoing investigation and they want
They're asking for police
information.
info.
That's weird.
No, basically, no. Okay. I don't want to
Are they
start
trying
any
to
rumors or
prosecute
anything,
the
but
drug dealer?
usually, yeah, what usually that means is something was found with any kind of identification, like some pills might have been found that didn't have any kind of identification, like didn't have a bottle with it,
Yeah.
or they found some kind of residue or something that might have, of some kind of substance that might have been prescribed to someone else, or anything like that. Could mean a plethora of things. So
That's what I assume. I assume they were looking for his drug dealer.
yeah, that's what it sounds
You're
like
thinking
to
it's
me.
an overdose, and
It sounds like to me
Okay.
because that's kind of what happened with my sister a little bit. Was that they wouldn't shut the case down, but they were also
If
They
you
s-
have any information.
if you have any information, let us know. And what was found in her room was the reason for it. So because she had some
It's weird
pills
that
that
a-
were not in a bottle.
I
and
want to know
prescribed
more
to someone.
information about a friend just showing up at 12:30 to make a welfare check just
yeah.
out of nowhere. That's kind of weird to me too. And
Yeah,
found
maybe
him.
he was. Yeah,
It-
he might have been in a dark place too. You know, who knows? He might have been saying some stuff that were leading people
And
close to
that's
him.
that's what I took it as. I figured that someone knew that there may have been an abuse problem, and they just went on to check up on him to make sure they're like, you're still
At
okay.
12:30 in the morning.
Maybe he was supposed to show up somewhere though. You know.
Or maybe he hadn't like texted him all day.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
At 12:30 at night.
I mean, I think it really depends on your relationship with
Why
that
not swing by
person.
at 9, 10 o'clock at
but-
night, or 8, or
True. Maybe because it was getting later and later, they were like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
maybe I
or
should check
yeah,
it out."
he's not
Yeah.
responding. He's not responding. He's not responding.
Yeah.
I will say though, when I lived in San Francisco, I had this boyfriend who lived in LA, and he was a heavy Xanax user, and he was supposed to come visit me, and it was midnight, and he wasn't at my house yet. I immediately called his mom. His phone was off. I called every single cop station to figure out like where he was, so I could figure that out and figure out a car to go pick him up out of jail because he was under the influence driving through Bakersfield.
Oh wow.
So I think when you do have those friends, like you establish a rapport and you do kind of understand, like when something's not right. It doesn't matter what time of
Yeah.
day it is. Like you're a good friend if you're checking in on that time because you get that something's going on. Or maybe you're just weird and you have a really intense connection with them and like you know something's not right at that time.
You felt it through the force.
I mean, it happens.
Maybe.
Someone screamed out.
I don't know.
It happens. That's another.
Yep, it's
topic.
sad.
Well, I was
story
hoping
for
you'd have a
DFW.
lot more to talk about
Yeah.
with this, but
With that, no, I didn't really have much to do with him, honestly, man. He was kind of a rock star, and when I was there, I was just an intern at that time. Didn't see him much, but Chloe, I am friends with. I feel really bad for him. Chloe has always been close to him and has always been by his side. So, and Chloe's a good guy. I feel bad for him and all his other guys that he worked with from Clear Channel to when he went to 105.3. Like, I just feel bad for all his family and friends.
did you
That's
hear
terrible.
that they did an hour on Saturday?
Yeah, I heard
Mhm.
that.
They came on and
That's
did
cool.
like an hour or something. All of them got together, or whatever. But from everything I've read, all the write-ups and everything, there's nothing nice said about him, which is bad. You know, all of it says like, you know, he's worked with these different charities and these different organizations, and
The main
got
one is
money
the
and
police
stuff.
one.
The
that
police
he did
one
a
and all
lot
that,
of good
but-
work with.
And they always mention he
fireman.
dragged his girlfriend by the hair and pled guilty.
and then was
Mm.
held up at gunpoint and his house was robbed. Which that whole story right there is
Wild, yeah.
wild. Being duct taped to your chair and held at gunpoint while everybody robs all your stuff.
Yeah.
That would jack me up. There'd be some
For
PTSD
sure,
behind that.
Yeah. Sucks we've had a rough couple of weeks here in DFW, so that didn't help. Way to end it, Dustin.
Way to go.
I could've-
Way to go, buddy.
I could have started the show with that. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but thank you for coming on, Katie. It's a first of ours to
Thanks
have
for
someone
having
that's
me.
actually running for a public office, and we hope you do we
Yeah.
hope you do well.
wish you luck
yeah, wish you
Appreciate it.
luck.
doing
and-
this, and hopefully we can have another conversation down the road of what you are doing
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
come
good.
back
and how
anytime.
things are going.
Yeah.
We appreciate
That'd
it.
be
Definitely.
great.
I'd love to be back.
Yeah,
And we'll tell Aaron to stay home.
Okay.
and thank you too, Mimi, for coming on. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
Thanks for, letting me
We'll definitely
come
tell,
in.
if you come over, we'll definitely tell Aaron to stay home
Yeah,
since he makes you
and
nervous.
and
No.
Aaron,
I
thank
want
you,
him
man.
to come back.
Hey,
And we can shotgun PBRs or something.
That sounds
on.
good.
There we go.
If it wasn't a school night, I would shotgun some with you guys, but I can't party like that anymore, man.
I just, like
Grilled.
one. It'll
Mhm.
take me like 10 minutes to
Shotgun
shotgun it, but that's
What do you?
fine, right?
Just
Yeah.
keep putting your thumb back over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold it the whole
It's a
time.
controlled
Just hold it
shotgun.
open.
A controlled shotgun.
It's
Thank-
buckshot.
Thanks for having me.
Hey,
No.
Aaron, you're always welcome, man.
You're
so
always
are y'all.
welcome. It's been
Anytime
a
y'all got
while.
something y'all want to come talk about issues and stuff, come back on. Anytime.
And thanks for not having RoboTuner here when I'm here for the first time ever. I really appreciate that.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Thank you.
I thought you and I just sat down in here one night
No,
alone
no. I
and
wish.
looked in each other's eyes.
I love that you just said that, though.
That is funny. You can come over whenever you want. You know that.
I know,
You
but
just
y'all,
always say you're busy.
y'all just go so late. I should be asleep right now.
Me
but
too.
This is important to me.
Me too. I should be asleep.
I
should
slept
be
an
asleep.
extra hour last night for this.
Oh wow!
I slept
love
an
I'm
extra
gonna
that.
start
hour
doing
before
getting
the
a lot of
show.
sleep
Active.
on Monday nights. Yeah, for our show.
I took a nap beforehand.
Same.
I didn't have that luxury, sir.
I did
Oh,
not
sorry.
either.
Me
Oh,
neither.
and we didn't do your stupid Happy Tuesday crap. What the hell?
We kind of did.
We
zapped
kinda do
through
it at the
yeah, just
beginning.
kinda-
Of the show.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Well, y'all do it down through the intro, the
Aaron,
Wake and Jake.
no.
Aaron, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
I'm
Aaron.
still not saying it, but y'all didn't do it.
Well,
Because we knew you were going to hold out.
if we keep this going long
They would've
enough, we'll
gone
say
with it.
Happy Wednesday.
All right. Yeah, we
I don't
can.
even know what day it is.
Y'all wanna
I
keep
just know it's
podcasting?
Saturday.
We could keep
Happy
podcasting
Tuesday.
till midnight if y'all want to. I mean, I don't-
Shotguns and PBRs. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
All right. No, I'm not doing that. I gotta go
everybody
to
look up Katie Johnson and her push for city council seat 3.
District 3.
bed. The
District
most
3.
important thing, get out
District
and
3,
vote.
not
Get out and
C3.
vote.
Get out and do
Keep saying
this.
seat.
This is
Yeah.
where it matters.
Yep. Oh, I'm also part of Freedom Voters. So if you need registered to vote, let me know. Or if you have any questions regarding your registration, also.
Yeah.
There's no reason why any of you who are legal citizens of these United States should not be voting.
No.
I have not missed a vote since I naturalized, and neither should you.
And you can legally be off work for 2 hours to vote. So
So you can even
learn
get
your
some-
voting laws also.
Yep.
Go get some.
A company
Some grub from your
cannot
place.
harass you for that.
Exactly.
And early voting, you can vote at any spot.
And there's no early voting for this.
Never mind.
And let's get
This
rid of
local.
No,
Shoot me down.
seriously though, this
Thing I
isn't
just
one of
said was
those
a lie.
weird screwed up you vote on Saturday things, is it?
I had,
The last
Wait,
time
actually, I think it is, but I
man.
think it is.
What day is it? May what?
So it is a Saturday, and then this will probably be a runoff election, of course. So there's going to be another day you have to go vote too.
Vote twice
Yes.
in two different elections. Do not vote twice in the same election.
Yes.
That's illegal.
Y-
You cannot do
No,
that. Not,
no, just-
not in America. Not yet.
Yeah.
I can't do it 10 times.
You can vote if you're dead, though.
Depends who you're voting for.
That's
I
something
guess.
that we can always do in America. We can always vote when we're dead.
True.
Yes. It's cool. All right. It's been good.
Yeah, it's been good. Thank you guys. And I
Thanks,
guess
guys.
we're out of here.
Thanks.
Yeah. Play some
Alright.
more Feds.
All right, maybe I'll put some in.
Play
Later.
Element 80.
I could do
I
that too.
haven't heard that name in so
Let's
long.
pass
I
on
know.
that
I
one,
know.
Eddie.
They're
What
from,
do you-
they're
Let's
from
just do
Fort Worth,
Feds.
right?
Arlington?
Or
Let's just
yeah.
go ahead and pass on that.
They were from Fort Worth.
Were they from Worth?
Element
Fort
80
Worth,
is from
Arlington?
East Texas. They're from Tyler.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
metal, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah.
When you said the name, I just-
the guitars had the
Light bulb went
the
off.
black contacts
Element 80.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a minute since I've seen
I,
them.
they might have
Never
moved
heard
up here,
of
but
them.
they originally before they got signed with Wind Up and all that, they were from Tyler.
Well, they played Ridgely Theater a lot.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I used to work for them. I was on
Originally?
their- I was
Oh,
on
you've
their
probably
street
seen
team
his band.
when I was like 15. Well, I'm now
And my
33,
band.
so I was like 15
what
when I
bands?
did this.
All right, good night. Bye.
Metallica.
Bye.
Bye. Forgot
Um,
we were still on there.
yeah.
Yeah, you said that, and I was like, why does that name sound so
Yeah.
familiar?
Because the
This one's for James from the DTS Underground.
Dude, you look good.
Thank you, man.
Did you do state of the art?
No.
State of the art.
Soda?
Yeah.
We should get them as an.
I want the cheat sheet for
You know-
that.
Oh, so my wife did it, and it works. It's just
Cheat
it's
sheet.
hard as fuck.
What do you do? I want to know all about it.
They get your diet down to where they trick your body into ketosis,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's it. So you're not going full keto. You're still having some carbs, but they trick your body into ketosis. And Paris lost 60 pounds before she got pregnant, and then I got her pregnant, and now she hates me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happens.
I mean, the whole point of the weight loss was for her to be able to get pregnant. So I was like, "You're welcome."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that's what it is. So yeah, she has all the notes at home. She's not gonna pay for it again. It was $5,500.
Have you ever looked into like
What?
Ayurvedic
Almighty.
diets?
Oh
What?
my
Ayurvedic
god.
diets?
No.
So, are you familiar with Ayurvedic medicine?
No.
It's essentially like Chinese medicine, but from India. It's obviously a little bit older,
Yeah.
but they put everything into 3 different body types essentially, and I mean some of them can kind of like mix into others. But you should really follow whatever your diet and exercise plan is for your diet, like for your body type.
The
It's really interesting.